It's impressive, and everything comes out great on the Big Green Egg. If you don't have one, you got to go visit my friends at Watsy's Meat Market and get yourself a Big Green Egg. They have the lowest prices in the country. They also have all the accessories. They even have a classroom set up where they'll teach you the basic to advanced techniques on the Big Green Egg. Follow them on their social medias. Also, check out the website, Watsy'sMeatMarket.com in Melbourne on Wickham Road. It's Watsy's Meat Market.
Let's be honest. Mom doesn't want another candle. She wants her favorite cocktails on demand. Meet Bartisian, the sleek cocktail maker that crafts premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Cosmo, pineapple margarita, old-fashioned. She's got options. So this year, skip the thoughtful gifts collecting dust in a drawer and give her the one she'll use all year long. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom. That's the one. Because nothing says I love you like a cocktail tailored to her.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for Life Imaging FLA, and man, is it time to celebrate. 17,000 scans in Central Florida in just a couple years, and even better, saving almost 400 lives. These guys do save lives every day. The information you get with this low-dose CT scan tells you so much about your heart health. You don't want heart issues sneaking up on you later in life. Be proactive. Get this scan from Life Imaging FLA to find out if you have any lurking issues. And remember, there are no dyes. You don't take your clothes off. This entire process only takes a few minutes. And remember, this is a free heart scan, just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And while you're there, be sure to ask about their cancer screening. It's no question, early detection does save lives. Here's how you make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do. Pound 250, say that keyword free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. Then you make that appointment that could change your life. And while you're there, ask about their cancer screening as well. Early detection saves lives. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at Givemethevin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. Givemethevin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Transform your kitchen into a foodie paradise filled with the finest fresh from Florida produce. This is your chance to cook, create, and savor the incredible flavors of Florida. Enter now at iHeart.com/Fresh from Florida Kitchen to give your kitchen the ultimate glow up. Stocked with Fresh from Florida.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do.
Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you.
We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore.
With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients.
Farah and Farah, Orlando.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. And answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Thursday, May 1st, 2025. Lots to get to today, from did John Elway kill a guy, to Elon Musk fights back after a report about Tesla replacing him, and Bill Bellichick defends his controversial girlfriend. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. Send us what we call a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Thursday?
Good. You?
Barely getting through the intro there. I wrote it out, and then it looked like serial killer handwriting over here, and then.
So what's different?
Not much, honestly. There's just a little more chicken scratch today than there tends to be, C-Lane. So a little more difficult to read, but we got ourselves through it, or at least I did. So let's get started here on a Thursday. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And here we go to PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
That's where they play baseball. And we know that the Pirates were just playing which team, C-Lane? The Pirates were just playing the...
It's hard to say.
The Cubs, man. Are you a pretend Cubs fan still?
Yeah, I've not been pretending lately.
Yeah, I noticed. It said a fan was hospitalized after falling from the right field stands. And when they say falling from the stands, they mean it. This fan fell like maybe 20 feet or something. Like legitimately fell.
And also quadruple flipped.
Yeah. It looked pretty rough, this person. And let's see what happened here.
This morning, baseball fans left in shock after a man fell from the bleachers at Pittsburgh's PNC Park.
How did he even do that?
Field during the Pirates game.
I mean, watching him, he flips, he like cartwheels out of the stands onto the field. I don't know how this happened on accident, if that's the case.
The bleachers at Pittsburgh's PNC Park.
I legitimately think. Yeah, it does. It looks like a gymnast in the Olympics. I legitimately think he might have been trying to flip over the railing on purpose, and then he just fell all the way. Because otherwise, why he's standing up at the railing and his body flips completely over it, and it just looks so intentional, honestly. It's very, very bizarre. Hang on, I'm going to reload this here and see if we can go to the rest of the story about what happened.
Fans left in shock after a man fell from the bleachers at Pittsburgh's PNC Park, landing on the field during the Pirates game.
When you look at it like in slow-mo, he just looked like he was like jolting up because it was a huge play.
Bobby Ketter shot this video showing a fan dropping about 20 feet. He says at first he had no idea he had captured the fall.
Next thing you know, the girl behind me was like, "Hey, did you record that?" And my dad's next to me. He was like, "Look at the stretchers in the outfield."
Yeah, there was a stretcher in the outfield because this guy was like on the ground on the baseball field. And it was pretty bad. I guess he's hanging on right now.
So, dumb question. I guess that was not a part of the park where usually when you fall, like it happens all the time, you would think that if you fell from a higher, not the lowest
they have a net
part to the field, but the second one, you would feel like the other one juts out a little further. Like you should just be able to fall one level.
Well, this guy fell all the levels.
I know.
He managed to wing himself all the way out, and then he was on the field. You could see him. I'm trying to see if he's moving here because he's laying down. They're trying to keep him very straight. They're putting him on a stretcher and getting him out of there.
So high up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Look, when you fall from that far and you hit your head or anything like that on the way down, it's a really, really bad injury, to say the least. And, that's where this guy finds himself now. You got to be careful, people. My God,
so
it's
who
dangerous.
Won the game?
I don't know. Okay. I have no idea. I don't know who won the game, but to me, it looked like the guy might have been partying a little bit. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
The Pirates won.
It looked like he might have been partying a little bit and maybe was right up against the bar there, like the boundary in the outfield, and sort of celebrated and flung himself over, and then he just went.
At the rate that he flung.
Yeah, fast, 20
wild.
feet. So be safe out there, folks. Enjoy the games in a safe way if you possibly can. Speaking of that,
they don't have those all over. Those places don't always have TVs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
This is... could it go to a Safeway to watch the game?
Right,
yeah,
right.
You might want to.
Pay a little extra to be on the ground level.
I would sit at home on the couch and turn on your TV because it's 1,000% safer. And guess what? There's another thing to toss in for you. 1,000% cheaper. Also 1,000% cheaper. You're not paying for the ticket. You're just sitting there on the couch enjoying yourself.
Especially at a Safeway when they're rolling back those prices.
Oh, now I get it.
There we go. It's a grocery store, Sabrina.
Yeah.
I'm a Publix gal.
Let's talk about this. Since we're in the sports world and we're sports nuts around here, just absolutely sports intense. This is where you come for the sports analysis. It's where we go deep into the stats and all of the things happening in the world of sports. And today I pose a question for you. Did John Elway kill a guy?
Did you kill a guy?
John Elway, for real, is involved right now in this situation. It's him and his friend, this guy who used to be his agent, I guess. They're best buds. And they were out doing a little partying, going to a concert, and they were riding around in a golf cart, and the guy died. Okay?
I'm telling you, man, those golf carts are dangerous.
Golf carts can absolutely be dangerous, but when you're driving them in a normal way, people aren't just flinging off and getting injured and stuff. You usually
you haven't demolition derbied a golf cart.
I have. I've driven a golf cart and done dumb things, but guess what? Number one, I was drunk when I did it. Number two, that was stupid. But it doesn't just happen. It's because usually somebody was doing something dumb. And I now throw to you the question, did John Elway kill a guy? Because for real, this doesn't just happen when you're cruising along at a very respectable speed in a golf cart and come to a stop where you need to. And no, it's when somebody's probably driving stupid.
Or hit a curb. And after a certain age, hitting your head becomes a lot more closer to death than when we were younger.
Bingo.
Bunking around everywhere.
That's literally what happened here. That's literally what happened in this case. But now this guy has died. And everybody's kind of treating this. All the media stories are like, John Elway lost a dear friend. And John Elway in this tragic accident. And I'm going, how fast was John Elway going on the golf cart? What happened here? What do we do? There just is like a whole big memorial about this, but there's a dude dead, and he was driving the golf cart. Here's ABC News talking about this as we learn that the guy died.
Turn now to the horrific accident reportedly involving NFL legend John Elway. The Hall of Famer reportedly driving a golf cart when his longtime friend and agent fell off the cart, hit his head, and died. What police are saying about this tonight, and here's Kana Whitworth.
Yeah, I want to hear the police.
Tonight, authorities investigating a tragic accident reportedly involving Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway that left his longtime friend and agent dead.
Okay, so we have on a very basic level some things here worth noting. Number one, they said authorities are investigating. So there's some sort of investigation that's underway with the police, as you might imagine, looking into what happened with this. And I'm going to give you some more details about what went down, and even an eyewitness that says she saw some of this stuff. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, more from ABC News.
According to TMZ, Elway was allegedly driving a golf cart after a party Saturday in the gated community of La Quinta, California, when suddenly Jeff Spurbeck fell off the back of the cart, hit his head, and suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Damn.
Witnesses describing a chaotic scene.
It was so scary. I mean, it was nothing like we've ever seen. You just don't think you're going to ever witness anything like that. But his wife was like hysterical.
Oh, God.
She says Elway was calling for help.
He was on the phone trying to call 911, call anyone.
The 62-year-old Spurbeck rushed to the hospital where he died this morning.
All right, so the wife is there. She's going nuts because she's seeing her husband who's fallen out of this golf cart. And a lot of things could have led to this, but is there a scenario where John Elway is driving this golf cart, perfectly obeying all of the laws and rules that he should and driving safely, and the guy just ejects off the back?
Is he hanging off the back? Was he standing up? It's also the freak accident of hitting your head in the perfect way, and very likely, because we've had a story like this just a couple months ago where the person driving the golf cart was charged, I thought, with manslaughter or something like that. And then I know somebody who also died because of falling off a golf cart.
It's dangerous, yeah.
And so it's just, to make him responsible, you need more detail, I feel like. If there's an eyewitness, then they could say immediately if he was driving it irresponsibly, but how was the guy standing or sitting on the thing?
If he was sitting like he should have been in the seat and he's just kind of hanging out there, then it seems unlikely to me that this was just they're going a reasonable rate of speed, no big deal, no issues here. Golf carts are dangerous. They're getting more dangerous. Here, a story I'm looking at today says golf cart accident survivors and families push for stricter safety regulation. There's a ton of golf carts, especially in the state of Florida, but they're all over the place. You got them in, from sea to shining sea. You got all of these golf carts out there, which, by the way, looking up some stuff, preparing to talk about this morning, I said, what's a golf cart run? You guys know what a golf cart costs?
No.
Yeah.
Run-of-the-mill golf cart?
Couple thousand?
Okay, a couple thousand. What do you think, Sabrina? A couple thousand?
Absolutely. What kind of golf cart? Could we take it off-roading?
$10,000 for a golf cart.
Like gas-powered or electric?
Either one. The most basic golf carts that I saw when I was looking these up today were $5,000 or so, and then a little bit nicer were $10,000. They had $20,000 golf carts.
That's wild.
And I don't know what kind of golf cart John Elway was driving with his buddies, but I do know there were a couple important things in there. This was after a party. Are we to assume that maybe at said party there might have been some drinking? There might have been some partying?
Post-party for Stagecoach.
Yeah. So they go to the Stagecoach concert, which is that a country concert? Country festival?
It's like Coachella for
country.
Rich people, yeah.
So they go out there. They
bachelorette contestants.
Yes.
And that's an all-day affair, if you want it to be. They're out there partying at that thing. Then they got an after party where John Elway and his buddies are hanging out doing things over there. And then next thing you know, they're headed home from that, and they have this crash. And the crash leads to this death. His friend ends up dying because he hit his head. I want to hear more from what that eyewitness woman said, because she's the most important person in this so far.
And it was so sad, and our hearts just go out to the families. But we were heading out of the community, and we pulled up, and it had to have happened probably 1 minute before us pulling up. But we got there, and he was unfortunately lying on the ground, and there were people surrounding him just trying to make sure he was okay, and people were on the phone just trying to get help there as soon as they possibly could. It was so scary. It was nothing like we've ever seen. You just don't think you're going to ever witness anything like that. But his wife was hysterical.
That's
Medics
tough.
Responded fairly quickly, would you say?
Yeah, as we were leaving, we heard the ambulance coming in. So it must have been probably 5 minutes.
Did you see John Elway? What was his reaction? What was he doing?
Yeah, he was on the phone trying to call 911, call anyone.
All right, so he was the one calling 911, according to this woman, which would be a good thing. You want him engaged and not trying to hide from a big mistake that he's made or something. But here's his statement from Adam Schefter of ESPN. And John Elway says, "I'm absolutely devastated and heartbroken by the passing of my close friend, business partner, and agent Jeff Spurbeck. There are no words to truly express the profound sadness I feel with the sudden loss of somebody who has meant so much to me. My heart and deepest sympathies go out to Jeff's wife, Corey, his children, Carly, Sam, and Jackson. Damn, 3 kids.
Oh, man.
And everybody who knew and loved him. Jeff will be deeply missed for the loyalty, wisdom, friendship, and love he brought into my life and the lives of so many others. So there he is, John Elway, with his statement on this. But you have to wonder, like, there's a lot of questions here. And I'm sure the cops will get down to the bottom of this, or I would hope so, unless we go, rich NFL guy, no need to look any deeper here. It was just an accident. But the idea that you've gone to a music festival all day, you've been partying, then you go to an after party with your friends, then you're on a golf cart driving. Like, I would really, really be surprised if John Elway wasn't drunk behind the wheel of the golf cart. You know what I mean? Like, I would bet some money that after that day, John Elway was probably not sober behind the wheel of that golf cart.
I mean, statistically speaking, I feel like 60% of people behind the wheel of a golf cart are not sober.
That's one thing. People tend to drink on golf carts. Yes. People tend to drink at
the legal
music
limit is
festivals.
higher on a golf cart.
Yeah.
People also tend to drink at parties, which they went to after the music festival. So there's just a lot there. And if he's hammered and they're driving like idiots, next thing you know, his friend's dead. I know this turns into something completely different. But
I'm driving a golf cart.
All right. Yeah.
That's Elon on a golf cart.
100% sober.
Totally.
Yeah, and only about 20% censored.
I'm telling you, I say this from experience. I have been out with friends golfing and having a couple of drinks and driving the golf carts and being stupid.
Once.
No, I've been golfing many, many, many times in my life, probably 30 times, 35 times. And almost every time you get a little silly with the golf carts. And if it's yours and you've been partying all day and you're with your boys and you're going around the neighborhood.
You with who?
Your boys.
You with your boys.
You're with your boys. You're cruising around the neighborhood. This could be bad. This could be a bad thing. There's lots of rumors, lots of people talking. This person says, Elway and his boys crashed a golf cart in Castle Pines parking lot a few months ago, causing $50K in damage. When he and the Broncos were hiring head coaches, Jeff Ellis and himself showed up late and still drunk from drinking the night before. Now he's killed his best friend after golf and boozing. It's speculation, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Also,
I really wouldn't.
He said he fell off the back of the golf cart.
He did.
Typically, they don't have any seat belts, right? There's no seat belts on golf carts.
And if there is, who the hell's wearing one
on
a golf cart? I've never, ever in my life had a seat belt on in a golf cart. It just has not happened.
I know if I ride on the back of a golf cart, I wrap my arm around the bar there just because I'm worried about falling off the back. If he was just sitting there and wasn't ready for John Elway to hit the accelerator or gas, if it was a gas, that's an easy.
Turn a corner like a dummy because they're partying a little too hard. Like, all these things lead to John Elway being responsible, if that's true. Like, if John Elway was drinking and driving that golf cart, responsible. If John Elway was driving like an idiot and took a turn too fast and did something dangerous when the guy fell off, John Elway responsible. If John Elway was doing anything at all that led to him being flung off the back of the golf cart, John Elway killed a guy. If any of those things are true, and I'm just trying to be real and honest here, I think there's a decent chance that at least one of those things is true considering the circumstances. Last thing here, and then we'll see what everybody thinks about this. This is from TMZ, and they said law enforcement and other sources tell us John Elway was on the golf cart Saturday evening in La Quinta, California, when Jeff Spurbeck, John's business partner, former agent, fell off the back of the moving vehicle. He rolled and hit his head on the asphalt, suffering a traumatic injury. John and Jeff and their wives had been at the Stagecoach Music Festival earlier in the day, and they were leaving a post party when the accident happened. We're told John Elway is the one who made the call to 911. When paramedics arrived, Jeff was unconscious but still breathing. He was transported to a hospital nearby. John was actually driving the golf cart, they said. Nobody else was injured. Happened on the grounds of a private golf community. And this says cops did not respond to the scene, but I don't know if that's the case because we heard that there were people who ended up showing up.
It might have been ambulance responded to the scene, but not police.
Yeah, maybe because maybe they didn't look at it like an investigation. Nobody seems to be really looking at it as an investigation just yet. But they probably should. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we come back, a busy Thursday on the show. Elon Musk is mad because there was a report that Tesla was looking for another CEO, like they were going to oust Elon or something.
I saw that report.
It was in the Wall Street Journal. It wasn't like some gossip thing. It was actually in the Wall Street Journal. They said they're looking for a CEO replacement for Elon Musk, and then he just went nuclear saying fake news. So we'll see what happened with that story. We've got this person that was arrested before all these threats that they put out there into the world. They're from a place right where I grew up in Loxahatchee, Florida. And this guy was an absolute nut job and wanted to do all kinds of crazy things. We'll get into that story as well. A lot on the way. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
If I-4 is a part of your commute this morning, traffic's still slowing down through that Lake Buena Vista area. There's slowdowns on the ramp from Florida's Turnpike to I-75 northbound. Construction is blocking the right lane on the beach line eastbound east of Dallas Mainline Toll Plaza, and there's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by FreshFromFlorida.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting FreshFromFlorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit MSCCruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have...
Let's go, Mike. Folks, welcome to Thursday. Hello. Celsius. I gotta go.
Gaggle?
I gotta go.
Do I have to go or you?
I gotta go.
Bathroom?
I gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go by. Go!
Jeez.
Have a nice day.
Fuck you.
I have to go. Okay, I didn't realize I still have 90 seconds. Dortney, I don't have to go potty. I was saying I have to go to address the people because right when I finally came over after sitting there, finally made my way over to Skull Mike, then I've got Courtney. And I was so excited about that, but then she left. Hey, you can come back. You can come back whenever you want. I didn't want you to feel uninvited, but I do have to go. I do got to go. I got to go for now, but you can come back in the future. Okay, see you later. Got to go back.
Is here and she is unfiltered on Las Culturistas. I gotta warn you, there is no topic off limits. Plus, Kate Cassidy breaks her silence on Purpose with Jay Shetty. She talks about Liam Payne, and it's an episode you do not want to miss. Plus, Amy Lou Wood drops by On Air with Ryan Seacrest, and she says she felt pretty ugly after learning her casting process for White Lotus.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the new.
He says it's fake news. What is it? We'll talk about it in just a moment here. And you can join us on the show, whatever you got on your mind, whatever you want to hear us talk about. If you want to hear my take on something, hit us up with an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com or one of those video or audio dispatches at thenewsjunkie.com. When I saw this, I immediately thought of C-Lane, though, so let me just tell you this story very quickly. You know that anti-piracy PSA? The one that's like...
You wouldn't download a car?
You do know that one, yes. You wouldn't download a car, would you? And it's got like the guy in the hoodie like recording a movie in the movie theater or whatever. And these anti-piracy PSAs that they've done. Somebody just discovered that the font that they used in it was pirated.
Yes.
Isn't it ironic?
The font that is featured in the anti-piracy ad was pirated itself, which just goes to show you
You wouldn't steal a font.
How did they?
Would you?
How did they discover that? That seems kind of
also
like in depth.
Took 20 years to discover.
You know why? You know how they found this? They said that the font is something called FF Confidential, which is featured in the Scream movies. And somebody put two and two together, and they said, hold on just a moment. Did they have the rights to actually use this?
But did they, track down the owner of the rights to the font to see if they had asked for
They did.
permission?
Yeah, they said the commercial was believed to feature a typeface called FF Confidential, which you recognize from the Scream movies. It was released in 1992 by Just Van Rossum. But the font file used in the anti-piracy campaign's website materials was actually a free copycat of FF Confidential made in 1996. So they stole the font that they used for the piracy.
They used a free copycat, not the exact thing.
Yeah, but pirated.
I feel like the idea of font stealing is one of the probably hardest to prove. I mean, I don't know about hardest to prove, but I think it's probably one of the more violated copyrights.
Probably,
just hands down all around.
Without a doubt. And now with AI, I don't know how you could prove it. You just have AI tweak it a little bit, and then it's no longer stolen.
Well, I think people view, and they once viewed music and TV shows this way too, but I think people view fonts as a free thing. I think people are like, I'm typing on my computer. It's the way my text looks. I'm not paying for that.
I run into things like this when I want to like make stuff, like on the Cricut, or it's spelled Crycut. Some people call it Crycut. But if I'm like trying to make things like, for gifts for people, and I want a specific font, and I go, I want this one, it looks really good, or I want this one because it matches something else. And then I go, and there's plenty of cool websites you could use to like find the font of something. Like you upload a photo and draw a square around what you're looking for, and it'll go, this is Helvetica New with the bold option or something like that. And then you go, all right, I want that. They try to charge you for it, and you go, screw that, they're fonts. Just like you said.
I'm not
like,
paying for fonts.
Who pays for fonts? And then
I paid for fonts in college.
What?
My teacher told me I had to.
What a nerd.
I know.
What a
I put
nerd.
it on mommy and daddy's credit
You
card.
have to like include your font license at the end of your project?
It was some class of mine for digital media or whatever my minor was that I don't use now. And yeah, the whole thing was to create a completely original piece, but anything that you used in Photoshop, you had to back it up with the paid-for program and the font you bought.
Yeah, you don't even have to work that hard to pirate a font. Like you,
I got an A+, okay?
If you just like find the name of it, you said what, FF Confidential? If I typed in FF Confidential download, I'm sure.
What are you doing?
What?
This is piracy in action right now.
No, it's not.
Unbelievable. Cops, we are located at iHeartMedia. We're at iHeartMedia. You could beeline your way here.
What's the address here?
Go ahead.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it right now, but they know. The cops know.
All right.
Head on over to iHeartMedia.
Actually, we're at Sean's
Lane.
house. We're at Sean Lawson's house. Go to his
Christopher Dolores Lane is ready to be apprehended. He is pirating material here. You got to pay for it. You wouldn't download a car, after all. You wouldn't do that, I don't think.
They can't get in the building without sending us an email.
They'll find a way.
And the font up there is so cute and stolen.
The Wall Street Journal and Elon Musk are fighting. And it's over this story right here. The story, it really isn't kind of hedging any of its bets. It's actually going right out there and saying that the Tesla board opened up a search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. So, like, Elon is focused on the Doge stuff. We're going to replace him. Now, he says this is totally fake news. Tesla says this is totally fake news. But Wall Street Journal ran with this. It says, with profits and stock prices sinking, board members told Musk that he needed to spend more time at the company. And so, like, I mean, it was at least a threat that they were going to replace him. Elon Musk says it's an extremely bad breach of ethics that the Wall Street Journal would publish a deliberately false article and failed to include an unequivocal denial beforehand by the Tesla board of directors. That's screwy. If they asked for a comment and the Tesla board of directors gave them an unambiguous, unequivocal just denial that this ever happened and they still ran with the story, that's a little wild. That's some journalistic malpractice if that is true. Tesla said earlier
even
today,
if they had a source that said otherwise, like if could they not just be accusing Tesla of lying, or would
if the Tesla board came out and said all the board members are signing this, we absolutely did not do this, and they didn't include it in the Wall Street Journal article?
Gotcha.
Where they
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that blanket denial is pretty important. That is journalistic malpractice in my estimation. Tesla said earlier today there was a media report erroneously claiming that the Tesla board had contacted numerous recruitment firms to initiate a CEO search at the company. This is absolutely false, and this was communicated to the media before the report was published. The CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and the board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the exciting growth plan ahead. From somebody named Robin Denholm. So that's what they said from their official account over at the Tesla website. But they said crisis hit Tesla, started search to replace Musk as CEO as the stock plummeted. They went on, Tesla board members reached out to multiple executive search firms to initiate the hunt for a new CEO. The board's search reportedly stemmed from concern and in some cases irritation over Musk's close involvement with the Trump administration and Doge. As sales and profits fell and Musk's time in Washington rose, Tesla's board met with Musk for an update, telling him he needed to spend more time running the company. They also told him to do so publicly, and he didn't push back, they said. So They're claiming like they were going to push him out, but the Tesla board says no. I mean, somebody is lying here. And is it the Wall Street Journal ? That's what you have to ask yourself. The Tesla board seems to say, nope, this never occurred. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch with your thoughts. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and record your first dispatch right now. When we return, we'll not only hear from you, because we do want to hear from you.
We miss you.
We want to hear what you have to say. We want to see your faces. Send us a video dispatch even. But we got to talk about this dude who got arrested in my old neck of the woods. He was out there in the Loxahatchee area. For those of you who don't know, I grew up at a place. My relatives thought that I was from Palm Beach, and they'd always be like, "Oh, the Wassons are from Palm Beach." They lived in Vermont. That's where my family is all from. And we didn't live in Palm Beach. We didn't live in West Palm Beach even. We didn't even live in Royal Palm Beach, which is west of West Palm Beach. We lived in a place called the Acreage, where there ain't no HOAs and there's no rules, just right. You can have horses running around, porta potties stacked up. And the Acreage, at least when I lived there, was pretty backwoods. It was all dirt roads. Now there's a lot of paved roads, and it's a little updated out there.
Congratulations, guys.
They even got their own grocery stores. So for all our Acreage friends who are listening to the show right now on Real Radio 92.1.
Oh, they don't have antennas yet. So.
Hello to you, first of all. I am from your neck of the woods, 49th Street North, representing 49th Street North. With your boys. 11851 49th Street North, and that's where
that's somebody's address,
Not mine. In fact, I think a cop lives there now.
Whatever weirdo shows up. Did you know the news junkie used to live here?
Can we take a tour of the house? I'm an Acreage boy, but further out from the Acreage was a place called Loxahatchee, and that was like even more woodsy than the Acreage people.
Okahumpka.
I don't know in Okahumpka. It's near the Corbett area.
Okahumpka's opposite direction.
My bad.
The Corbett area is like a big area where you can go hog hunting out there and that kind of stuff. But that's where I spent a lot of my youth. I wasn't born there or anything, but it's where from about 7 years old to 18, I grew up. And there was a lot of guys out there kind of like this dude that got arrested. Not as crazy, but this guy was full nuts. And what he said, what was going on, we got to hear from the sheriff and stuff. This case, thank God they found this guy, because he had a lot in the way of plans he wanted to get up to, and certainly had the ability to do it. What's going on? We'll get to those details. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, we'll talk about school starting times and dashboard ducks. At 4 o'clock, we'll do Date Night Done Right, find out what's happening in Orlando this weekend. We'll also do Colbert Court with our buddy Glenn Klausman from Klausman Law. For trivia, it's Metallica tickets, plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Thursday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And today we are going to be expecting a mix of sunshine and clouds, warm temperatures, but overall seasonable with a high of around 87 degrees today in Orlando. As we head into our Friday, temperatures will be nearing 90, a high of 89 degrees, staying dry. Rain chances will be on the rise for this weekend, specifically for Sunday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
If you love brunch with a little buzz and a whole lot of sass, you need to be at the Jim Colbert Show's Boozy Brunch. Boozy Brunch is on Sunday, May 4th at Osprey Restaurant, with Jim Colbert and Jack Bradshaw for what can only be described as an unhinged Sunday fun day. Think pastries, raw bar, cocktails, burlesque from Corsets and Cuties, and feisty trivia that'll have you yelling at your mimosa. It all kicks off at 11 a.m. sharp, and trust me, this will sell out. Grab your crew and come sip, snack, and get a little wild. Go to realradio.fm/brunch for your tickets. That's realradio.fm/brunch.
Let's be honest. Mom doesn't want another candle. She wants her favorite cocktails on demand. Meet Bartisian, the sleek cocktail maker that crafts premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Cosmo, pineapple margarita, old-fashioned. She's got options. So this year, skip the thoughtful gifts collecting dust in a drawer and give her the one she'll use all year long. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom. That's the one. Because nothing says I love you like a cocktail tailored to her.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Tuesday morning on the Today Show.
An incredible concert from the one and only Kelly Clarkson.
The City Concert Series kicks off with superstar Kelly Clarkson bringing her powerhouse voice to our iconic stage, performing her new music and some of your favorites to start your morning.
Catch me live on the plaza.
Feel the beat and share the moment. Kelly Clarkson performs live on the City Concert Series on Today, Tuesday morning on NBC.
Transform your kitchen into a foodie paradise filled with the finest fresh from Florida produce. This is your chance to cook, create, and savor the incredible flavors of Florida. Enter now at iHeart.com/Fresh from Florida Kitchen to give your kitchen the ultimate glow up, stocked with Fresh from Florida.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need this.
Skull mic. Sorry, I've been slacking on the skull mic today. I'm trying to get stuff ready. I'm trying to get prepared for the next segment. We got to talk about this dude. The arsenal that this young guy that they arrested out in Loxahatchee, Florida, the arsenal that he had was incredible, considering that he was one of those dudes where every one of their friends said, oh yeah, not surprised. Yeah, not surprised this guy got arrested. He would openly talk about planning mass shootings and stuff. And that's one of those moments where you shake your head and you go, how is it that we don't have a fix for that? Like, a guy's openly talking about planning mass shootings, and he has a massive arsenal of weapons and stuff to do it with. And yeah, he got like this far down the line. And there's some weird tie-ins with some other stories in this one. It's pretty incredible. We got the press conference coming up next. So the sheriff gave like all the details at the press conference, and we'll see if we think, this was the big takedown that they're claiming it was. Hey everybody. Jason, Tanya, Zach, Zephys. Hello everybody. Welcome on board. 1 minute. Hard to point to flaws in a system that caught him before anything happened? Not really. I mean, I see your point, but the idea that there was like a lot that went wrong before this, and it was like only kind of, hey, they're lucky he didn't do anything before this arrest, is present in this story. And maybe that'll make sense next. So we're going to hear from the sheriff in just a minute. Coming back.
LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
New Year's resolution is to buy a home? Get your free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
Florida Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says this is a tremendous case. Like, this could have been really, really bad. But what was actually going down here? Let's listen into the press conference in just a moment. Don't forget, you can join us on the show with your comments, your dispatches. Send them over at thenewsjunkie.com. Don't be scared. Be brave. We want to hear from you today on the show. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. All right. I was trying to find the actual press conference that the Palm Beach County Sheriff and the FBI had, where they announced that there was a mass violence threat case and an arrest of a man from Loxahatchee. And the Facebook video that they had was like, maybe they put a webcam across the room that had a microphone attached to it, and you could hear like whispers from the sheriff. And it was so bad. I think I found a bit of a better version from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office X or Twitter account. And they're talking about the arrest that went down to this guy. His name was Alan. Alan is his last name. And he, I guess, was involved in a lot of stuff. He had a huge assortment of weapons. Let me see. I'll show you that. Here is the guy's weaponry, just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here.
Dear God.
Yeah.
They got a lot of guns.
They got homeboys' guns lined up by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, at least a dozen guns, if not more. And his computer, I'm noticing a swastika.
Little Nazi things here and there.
Yeah, I'm noticing some other stuff. A lot of like camo. I guess this guy would pretend to be a cop and was kind of convincing at it. But now that you know what kind of weaponry he had, let's go over to the sheriff and let's see what they said at the press conference.
There's no doubt in my mind they have stopped a mass shooting that was going to happen. This guy was ready to go, had all the equipment, had the propensity to do it. It's just a matter of what day was going to set him off to go do it.
Damn.
So it's no doubt in my mind saved a lot of lives at one point in time. So I'm going to let Captain Foley, is the head of the unit, walk you through this. We have a representative from the FBI up here also. And after that, I'll finish it up, and then we'll take some questions.
They said this guy was posting on TikTok, Instagram, Discord about the threats and what he was going to do. And he would show a semi-automatic rifle in the back of his car while he was doing this. So, I mean, there's a lot of evidence, it seems. A lot of breadcrumbs in the trail here.
Cap, thanks, Sheriff.
Let's see what the captain says.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad you could be here. My name is Captain Randy Foley, Foley.
Thanks for inviting us. Thank you for having us.
We're here with our representative of FBI, ASAC McCormick, during the joint investigation. So today I'll be addressing the arrest and ongoing investigation into Damian Allen.
Damian Allen,
a Loxahatchee resident and Palm Beach County resident connected in serious criminal offenses, including threats of mass violence and impersonating a law enforcement officer. So basic case overview is PBSO and received information from the FBI, which they had an open guardian tip related to another case that we're not involved in. The tip was involving David Allen, which is currently residing in Palm Beach County.
Just so you know, I know this is getting a little bit complex here. He said we got a tip from an unrelated case. The unrelated case was some young girl who was involved in a mass shooting that made headlines. And it was like, you know, her photo was everywhere. And I forgot exactly what she had done, but it was a mass shooting story about this young girl. And he was in communication with her, I guess. And so they found him, and they start looking at this guy, too, to see what he's up to.
PBSO and FBI obtained the information that Allen may have been planning an attack and engaged in threatening communications online to commit mass violence. So some information we have on this is that there were online communications with other individuals who discussed carrying out mass violence, not just here in Florida and Palm Beach County, but in the nation. Allen expressed support of radically and ethically motivated violent extremism and threats of mass violence to include identifying several places, I believe it was 7, that he would like to strike.
7?
This included a police department, and in other conversations, people who was online were to discuss churches. The use of guerrilla warfare and tactics and ambushing to carry out the mass violence attacks. The joint investigation between the FBI and us revealed that there was chats and videos showing Allen discussing the use of body armor, steel plates, tactical gear, grenades, and multiple firearms, which we'll get down to in a couple minutes.
So they basically said this guy was going on all these social media platforms, was conversing with all these other radicals online, and he was saying he was going to take down 7 targets, and here's the arsenal he has. And again, this is one of those people where they go, you know how the news will go to their friends and they'll say, "Are you surprised that Damian Allen was arrested and charged with this?" And
this is such a peaceful street.
Yeah, people always go, "Wow, we never saw this coming." In this case, some of the people they talked to were like, "Oh no, this is not surprising at all." This is
show me the person who's like, "We called you about this years ago."
There's people who they asked and they go, "Oh, you mean him? Thank God, finally! Jeez, we thought you'd never get him." But I think things go a little more hush-hush in the Loxahatchee area still these days, perhaps. But yeah, this guy looks like he was up to no good. And I believe what the sheriff said. I believe that he was maybe just one bad day away from going, "That's it, enough's enough. Now I'm just going to try to lay some people out." And they got him before he did this. The frightening thing is there's a whole bunch more people like that. It's like a web of people, right? Like they found one person, one girl who did it. She's communicating with this guy. He's communicating with other people in this like underbelly of the internet where they all talk about their impending violent attacks. And that is bad. We got to be watching that as closely as we possibly can. But look at this, man. He just had guns. He had camo everywhere. I hope he wasn't living with his parents because this should have been a real red flag. Although, I don't know, in the acreage.
He just stays in his room.
And Loxahatchee, they're like, he's really into hunting. He just likes it. Nothing against anybody out there. I'm just telling you that that's the way it goes. So, yeah, I mean, this was a pretty interesting case that they apparently busted wide open, and they found a lot on this guy's person. So there he goes. We'll see what happens with him. We'll see if the charges stick against this Damian Allen guy. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay. At some point, we got to get into this hilarious thing from the NYPD. The Kentucky Derby is coming up this weekend, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Mint juleps.
Oh, it's the same weekend as Cinco de Mayo.
You know who has a horse in the Kentucky Derby?
Who?
Toby Keith.
Oh.
Toby Keith. R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Toby Keith.
Get rid of the horse immediately?
No, he died about a year ago, and he had a horse that was on the path to making it to the Kentucky Derby. If I recall correctly, I'm going to give you my Kentucky Derby knowledge here, all right? I believe that all of the horses involved in the running of the Triple Crown, which is the Belmont Stakes, the Kentucky Derby, and
Preakness.
The Preakness Stakes, those 3 races are what they consider to be, the Triple Crown. And the horses, I think, are all 3 years old. Okay. I think you get one shot at it, I believe, and I believe all the horses are 3 years old that run that circuit. And Toby Keith had a horse that was one of them that was in the running this whole time, literally. And now his horse, Rendered Judgment, is going to be in the race. There was another horse that was supposed to be in there instead, which was a Florida Derby winner by the name of Tappan Street, Tappan Street, but it had an injury to its leg. And they said, bring on Toby Keith's horse. So Toby Keith's horse will be, post-death, in the Kentucky Derby coming up this weekend. The 151st Kentucky Derby will render judgment win for Toby Keith post-mortem. Who knows, but it'll be fun to watch regardless.
Well, the horse gets beer no matter what.
True. No, wait. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses? Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Or is it the other way around? Do you give whiskey to the horses?
No, the beer's for the horses.
Give them both.
Whiskey's bad for the horses. Probably both of them are bad for the horses now that I'm thinking about it. When we come back, we'll get to some of your emails coming in today. Also, a woman is now the oldest in the world, and she has maybe the greatest quote ever for people where they go, well, what's your secret? How did you live so long?
Killing the oldest woman in the world?
What did you do? Her quote is one of my favorites so far, and we'll give you that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a serious accident getting cleared up, affecting all lanes on I-95 southbound before Maytown Road underpass. A vehicle fire is blocking 2 right lanes on State Road 408 eastbound near Tampa Avenue. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 through that Lake Buena Vista area. There's a crash reported where Villa City Road meets US 27. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Orlando this summer for a global showdown. Experience world-class soccer as football legends collide at Camping World and Ender & Co Stadium. Don't just watch history, be part of it. Get your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets. That's FIFA.com/tickets.
Tuesday morning on the Today Show, the City Concert Series kicks off with superstar Kelly Clarkson, bringing her powerhouse voice to our iconic stage, performing her new music and some of your favorites to start your morning.
Catch me live on the plaza.
Tuesday morning on NBC.
Hey, everybody. Want to impress Mom on Mother's Day? Enjoy a menu of Mom-approved dishes prepared by Chef Tony Nova for Rosen Center's Mother's Day Buffet. At Rosen Center on Sunday, May 11th, Chef Tony has created a Mother's Day buffet for everybody. 60-plus delectable dishes and champagne and mimosas for our guests 21 and up. Jonah crab claws and sous vide short ribs is just where it begins. If you really want to impress Mom, join Chef Tony Nova at Rosen Center on Sunday, May 11th for their Mother's Day Buffet. Grab your reservations today at Rosen.
Go back. All right. I have a very easy question for you, chat, but it could impact your future, so I want you to be honest. Should we get rid of the penny? Should we get rid of the penny forever and ever again? We mint these stupid pennies. They're almost worthless. They cost more to make than they're worth. And there's long been these plans to get rid of the penny. There's a new one that has a twist to it that I want to talk about in a bit. But I don't feel like there'd be many people who would go, oh man, I really miss the penny. I really miss the days when we had pennies. I think it's so dumb and useless. I can't tell you, and maybe this is me being out of touch, I can't tell you the last time I used a penny in commerce. I can't tell you the last time I used change in commerce, but I definitely can't tell you the last time I used a penny at all. So, death to pennies or save the pennies? Which one? Death to pennies or save the pennies? Absolutely no more penny. If it's not cost efficient, yes. Save Penny Hardaway, that's different. That's not what we're talking about here. Death to pennies or save the penny? Death to pennies or save the penny? We're coming back.
FutureHealth.com. Get approved and start losing weight this week. Visit FutureHealth.com. That's FutureHealth.com. Future without the E.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The game of magnets. Taking over the world one terrible person at a time.
Going through the most viral stories of the day, and you can learn more about the show. If you just stumbled upon us, go over to the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. I need you to both be brave, Sabrina and Celine. I need you to be brave here. No fence sitting, none of this pussy stuff. You got to take a stance on this.
Like our normal pussy stuff?
Yeah, fence sitters, the both of you, okay? There's no hemming and hawing on this. You have to take a stance, okay? Okay? Here's what I want to tell you, because this is the reality of our future. And I have one side of this that I have landed on that I think I've been on for a little while. But there is right now a bipartisan group. What the hell's happening in this country right now that's bipartisan other than this? The parties are coming together to agree on one thing, and that is we need to kill off the penny. Enough of the penny, away with the pennies. This is legitimately a piece of legislation they have just introduced called the Common Sense Act.
Oh,
you get
play
it?
on words.
You see?
I love
C-E-N-T-S. You see what they did there?
in.
This would require the Treasury to stop minting pennies. And I have a twist for you in a moment, so I don't want you to say whether you're team death to pennies or team save the penny just yet. But I do want you to land on one of those. I am firmly team death to pennies. I can't remember the last time I used a penny. I don't know if that makes me sound like an out-of-touch guy or what, but I don't use change. I don't come in contact with change. I use my debit card. I don't care about pennies. I hate them. It's a waste of money to mint pennies these days. What's a penny pay for in 2025? Nothingness, man. Nothingness. But there is a twist, okay? If they shut down the pennies and I win, my side wins, death to pennies, pennies would still be legal tender under the bill, but they would no longer be produced. All right? So they would stop making pennies. We got so many of them. We don't need to do that. But the ones that are out there, don't worry. They'll still let you change them in if you need to, literally. Here's the thing. If you make a transaction, every transaction will be rounded up or down to the nearest 5 cents. All right? So, like your purchase, if it's going to be $1.03, it's going to be $1.05 now because pennies don't exist. It's going to be $1.05. It'll round up to that. If it's $1.02, it'll round down to the dollar because we don't have pennies, and you're not going. You're not past the point where you go up to a nickel. So some stuff gets a tiny bit more expensive, some stuff gets a tiny bit cheaper, and we say death to the penny. So now that you know the twist. What team do you align with? Team death to pennies or team save the penny?
Be brave,
Which
Sabrina.
one?
Be brave. I am totally okay with death to the pennies.
Death to pennies for Sabrina.
I don't know how we will truly kill them off because there's so many everywhere, even in the bottom of fountains.
How many do you think in the whole world? How many pennies do you think are out there? Billion? Is there a billion of them?
I'd say more.
There's got to be a lot of them. Sealand, are you death to penny or save the penny? Which
team? In this situation, are only my cash transactions rounded in such a way, or also my not my card-based transactions?
No, just cash transactions will be required.
Get rid of the penny then.
To be rounded up or down to the nearest 5 cents. If you are paying with a debit card or a credit card, any cashless transaction, Apple Pay, whatever, it will not be impacted by this at all. But if you choose to pay cash, the person that you're purchasing from will have to round up or down to the nearest 5 cents. And that's the only thing that would be different about this. So you're death to penny too? We're all three death to penny on this?
Yeah. See ya, Penny.
That. We finally landed on something together. Oh, my God, it feels good. The Common Sense Act. What do you think? Should they kill off the penny? They're useless. We don't need them. Death to the penny. Or are you one of these folks who's like, no, I've got a stash of change. I love change. I keep it in my center console all the time.
I do have a kitty bank.
I got none. Nothing like that.
Yeah, but even if I was like collecting change, I think I would put the pennies somewhere else. Like the change that matters starts it.
That's why Sabrina puts it in the bank, because she's not. When's the last time you actually used change to purchase something? Can you remember?
No. I mean,
I don't.
For a while, the dispensary was just taking cash.
Right.
So
okay,
I
that was
had
like
that, but I was getting, it was just dollar bills for the most part, and they would give me back change. I'd have a, little compartment in my car for a parking meter, but they don't accept pennies.
If you go to the strip club, you might pay cash. If you go to the strip club, but you're not paying change. Yeah, nobody's using the pennies anymore. I'm telling you.
If I had to guess, the last time I used like coins to pay for something, I would almost think that it would have had to have been like a game of pool at a bar, where I would have to have put $1 into the change machine, just because a lot of those older pool tables only run on quarters.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but pennies don't even come into that equation, right?
No, not at all.
Nobody cares about it. Get out of here. 88 Camaro on YouTube says, GTFO Penny, nobody wants you.
Bye, Penny.
All my pennies get sucked into the car wash vacuum, says Snoop Frog. Arnott says, what will we offer somebody for their thoughts? Well, you could still say it. The saying still goes, but now we just don't waste so much money. And I forgot all the data on that. Maybe you can run that through ChatGPT or something like that. What is the cost of producing a penny versus their value? I think we lose money on every single one of them that we make because of the percentage of copper that's in there.
Last time we talked about this, I think nickels were a pretty big offender of how much it costs to produce versus how much they're worth. Like I think it's like 19 cents per nickel, right?
I don't want to go full radical on you, but I would be okay with eliminating change in general.
Oh,
I would
like
be
quarters.
okay with getting rid of it. All told, it's still worth money if you have it right now. But why are we still minting it? What are we doing?
So, as of the most recent data from U.S. Mint, cost to produce 1 penny is 2.7 cents.
See? Almost 3 cents for every 1 cent that we make. You wouldn't do this if it was at your house.
You wouldn't steal a car.
If you were making something at your house and everyone that you made cost you more to make than it was worth, you'd say, this business is upside down. What are we doing? I lived through the last hurrah for change. I lived right through it. It was an exciting time. I'll tell you, it was a really fun time to be alive.
Why do you think it was the last hurrah?
Because they had announced at the time that they were going to do a special collector's quarter for each state.
I lived right there with you. I got the whole book and collected them all.
Yeah, they had like a book or like a big cardboard thing, and you would take your quarter and you would put it in the state.
Oh no,
it was
so
exciting.
Excited. And I used every single one of those quarters in college for booze.
Popped them out.
All the work I'd done for years in middle school and even a little bit of high school.
Yeah.
All gone in one day.
I think I honestly, Sabrina, think that's also one of those things, and I had lots of these things when I was growing up, where I go, I'm going to get all of these because in my future, these will be worth so much money.
Yeah, big time.
I'm going to have these, and they'll be worth, no one will have the Michigan quarter and the New York quarter and the Florida quarter. Oh, my God. The Texas quarter, too? And then you realize, just like the people who collect the McDonald's Happy Meal toys, boy, did they make a lot more of them. There was a lot more where that came from. But it's called the Common Sense, CENTS Act, and they want to stop making pennies. Are you team death the penny or save the penny? I would love, more importantly, to hear from the save the penny peeps. I want to see what their rationale is for keeping it around.
There was somebody in the chat that said it's better for small businesses. I don't know how, and I don't remember who it was that said that, but there's at least somebody that was pro-penny. Did you know that there was a period of 64-ish years, I think 64, where they minted a half cent?
Really?
Yes.
From
1793 to 1857.
That seems like a waste of time.
There was a half-cent coin. Well,
but it wouldn't be at the time. In the 1700s, a half cent could buy you things. It could legitimately get you things at that time. You could get into a stage show. You could, get certain things for a half cent that makes it worth keeping around. You literally can't buy anything for a penny. Sweaty Armpit Guy thinks we need to remarket all of this. Let's listen in.
So if we kill off the penny, we're going to be left over with millions and billions of pennies. What do? We remarket the penny, sell them for scratch-offs. I mean, we could actually sell each penny for $1 so people can scratch their scratch-offs off.
Nobody's doing that.
It's genius.
Get your scratch off.
The scratcher idea is not dumb, but selling them for $1 is insanity. Nobody's doing that.
They get rid of the penny, and they're going to be worth millions.
Well,
when we're old, and they're like, this one's from 1999.
Some of them are, though, like old coins.
Old dimes
are still valuable. Old dimes, old quarters, different coins are valuable. But there's so many pennies. There's so many of them that it just renders them worthless. Here's Mo Manji talking about the change.
Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Sean, what are you talking about, man? You can't get rid of the change. What am I going to throw at daytime shift strippers? Thanks. Bye.
You shouldn't be doing that anyways, first of all.
Do not throw coins at strippers.
Super rude to do. But second of all, nobody's using them for this. Nobody's using them for anything anymore. The most exciting thing as of late used to be when you go to the grocery store and they had that big machine and you put your change in and it goes, woo, woo, woo.
Coinstar.
Coinstar thing. And it puts them all together and then charges you money.
You have 50 pounds of pennies, and they're like, you just got $5.
Congratulations. There you go. You go lugging in a Home Depot-sized bucket, and you put it in the machine. Here you go, $1.50. Congratulations. Here's Big Al chiming in.
So if I go to the store and they round up a penny, who gets that extra 2-3 cents? The retailer, or does it go towards sales tax? I'd rather go towards sales tax for our county or city or whatever, but I'm just curious about that. Are the stores going to be making more, or will they break even? I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
I'll tell you what they'll say they'll do. They will say, we will take all these pennies and we are going to make the schools even schoolier. We are going to, we'll add it to the lottery money, and the schools will be schoolrific. Everything will be fantastic. And we'll find out later that didn't necessarily play out like they suggested it would. That's how things usually go with the government and money. And by the way, don't let them fool you. The government has plenty of money. Oh, boy, do they. The local government, the state government, the federal government, they take all your monies. They got plenty of it.
Remember when they gave us money a couple years ago?
Well, I didn't get any money, unfortunately. Okay. I would still like some. If I'll take some money from you, actually, if you don't mind. Is that possible?
Check under your chair.
Never anything under the chair.
No.
There's never anything under the chair.
One of these days.
Just
got to get in your house.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but I wouldn't even be mad if there was a prize. If you said roll back your chair and I roll back and there was magically a prize down there, I would be thrilled.
But I'm going to work on it. One of these days, for sure.
Hasn't happened yet. Let's talk about this woman, 115 years old, Ethel Caterham.
Ethel.
She lives in a care home in Surrey in the UK, and she is the oldest person in the world. And they said, ma'am, how do you do it? How'd you make it so far? You're 115 years old. And she says, quote, I do what I like, unquote. That's
Damn right, Ethel.
There's an extra piece of this, though. They said Caterham says, I've taken everything in my stride, the highs and the lows. And she has one life maxim. This is a thing that she tells everybody that she
I had a whole subscription like a handful of years ago.
Not like FHM and Maxim. Like one rule in her life. And she says, never argue with anyone. I listen and I do what I like.
Oh.
And that's how I got to 115 years old. Not by arguing with people. Well, I'm screwed, but
Yeah,
we'll see
big
what you
time.
think. Let us know. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now.
I think
When
it's
we
kind
come
of
back-
a bad omen to do these stories
Why? Because then the person just dies?
immediately after.
Well, I've told you my
Well, the
take on
whole
this
reason
thing.
she's the oldest is because
The oldest
the
died,
oldest
yeah,
one
yeah.
died, you know?
My take on this whole thing is that it's secretly super weird that the news media does this. And they, like with the Pope, when the Pope was definitely dying, and they go, the Pope opened his eyes today. When you start getting credit for very normal things, and then people start going like, how did you manage to live this long? It's everybody chronicling
Breathing.
your final moments. They're going, you're
Are you saying that these people are getting credit for stuff that they're supposed to do?
I am. There's a whole bit about it, but I don't dare do it. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the NYPD and a buxom bandit. What happened with that? You're going to find out. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
I'm way out of your weight class, A, and I have too much knowledge.
That's the first time that's ever been said.
Maybe it is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real radio 104.1.
All lanes are blocked on I-95 southbound at Maytown Road underpass. There's a vehicle fire blocking multiple lanes on State Road 408 eastbound near Tampa Avenue. Emergency crews are blocking 2 right lanes there. There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line, and slowdowns on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Transform your kitchen into a foodie paradise filled with the finest fresh from Florida produce. This is your chance to cook, create, and savor the incredible flavors of Florida. Enter now at iHeart.com/fresh from Florida kitchen to give your kitchen the ultimate glow up, stocked with fresh from Florida.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Tuesday morning on the Today Show.
An incredible concert from the one and only Kelly Clarkson.
The City Concert Series kicks off with superstar Kelly Clarkson bringing her powerhouse voice to our iconic stage, performing her new music and some of your favorites to start your morning.
Catch me live on the plaza.
Feel the beat and share the moment. Kelly Clarkson performs live on the City Concert Series on Today, Tuesday morning on NBC.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. Mom packed your lunches, carpooled like a champ, and never once left you at soccer practice. Pay her back with her favorite cocktails on demand. The Bartisian cocktail maker crafts premium drinks at the touch of a button. No mess, no measuring, just bar quality bliss in under 30 seconds. Skip the flowers, skip the robe. This year, give her something she actually wants. That's the one. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy...
Hello. Hello. Have you ever, chat friends, have you ever seen a sexy wanted poster? Have you ever seen a sexy wanted poster? I imagine those were big back in the day. Hell, John Wilkes Booth was like a hot dude in his day, and those wanted posters were up and around. And still a few of them exist. And the crazy thing back then was they had to put like actual photos up with the thing. They didn't have all of the printing technology to do that. But he was supposed to be a hottie back in his day. But have you ever seen a hot wanted person? I bet you thought you could turn them, didn't you? I bet you said, I can fix her. I can fix her. 2 minutes. Craig says, a what? Have you ever seen a wanted poster where somebody was wanted by law enforcement who was hot? Smoking hot. This will make sense momentarily on the show. It'll make sense. Billy the Kid. Was Billy the Kid really a looker? I mean, I think people wanted to be with Billy the Kid because he had the bad boy status, which I also enjoy. People call me the Billy the Kid of radio often. Lorena Bobbitt? What? All right. At risk of being extremely rude, Lorena Bobbitt is not hot. Lorena Bobbitt was not hot. If you think Lorena Bobbitt is hot, I think that there's another thing going on there. I'm not here to diagnose you, but it seems like maybe it's the attraction based on her crazy level. Maybe you're into that? Casey Anthony, please, no. Good God. Casey Anthony gets so much more credit than she deserves in the looks department. And I'm not like that guy where people, all these celebrities are actually ugly. That's ridiculous. All these celebrities are hot. But not her. Not her. Somebody's got to be hot, though, right? Who's been hot on a wanted poster? We're coming back in a second. Oh, no. See, what did we just do there? 14? Okay.
Such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The game of magnets, taking over the world one terrible person at a time.
The NYPD did this on purpose, I think. We'll talk about what they have done in just a moment here on the show. We'll also get to you. Tons of people emailing in, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We'll work at least a few of those in, plus dispatches on the way. But first, the New York Police Department is getting some attention because they often put these wanted posters out there, and it's like, wanted, and they've got some photo of some person who looks like they were up to no good. and then it gives you a brief description of them and what crime they've committed. You get it. You've seen it a million times.
Sure.
But one of them has gone incredibly viral, and this is the wanted poster that has got a lot of attention in New York City. And
all three of them?
A lot of the news outlets have actually censored this out, the wanted poster.
Well, look at us. We're giving it all to you.
And they used this photograph on purpose, did they not?
Yeah.
Were there any other photographs
available?
A license photo?
Let me read and describe for everybody. It says, wanted for attempted robbery, perpetrator, probable cause to arrest. And it's a woman named Lucy Laura. It says female, white Hispanic, 34 years of age, yada, 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 all the info about her. But the photograph that they chose, clearly they chose it from social media, and it's the most obvious boob photo you've ever seen in your life. You go, there had to be somebody at the New York Police Department going, which photograph should we use? And there's plenty of other ones floating around of the woman, and not all of them are like the one that they ended up using on the wanted poster. I put this up on See It Now so you could take a look, but they must have known what they were doing. There's no way this was on accident over at the New York Police Department with this wanted poster that's gone viral. This says the 115 Detective Squad is attempting to locate the above pictured subject wanted in regard to a domestic attempted robbery that occurred on such and such place at such and such time. The above pictured subject acted in concert with another unapprehended suspect. Well, where are they at?
It's like
Where's
the
that
second
person?
time this week I've heard the word concert used like in connection. It's always annoying. I don't love it.
They worked in concert with somebody else who's also not arrested, who attempted to remove the complainant's engagement ring and pushed her to the ground, causing pain to her hip and a minor cut to her thumb. They tried to steal some old lady or some lady's engagement ring, and that's what she got busted with. And I know a lot of you will be like, I can fix her. It's okay. I'm going to make this work. You're not going to. This is a crazy person. But men, hate to say this, guys, men are dumb. And a lot of men will be like, let me talk to Lucy. Let me figure out what's going on. I think she won over the police department in New York City, for God's sake. This is all done on purpose. No way this was accident, my friend. What do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. Some emails coming in. And this is from Wes to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Hi, Wes.
Wes says, hey there, hearing you guys talk about the South Florida guy that got arrested yesterday. And he's talking about the person in Loxahatchee in the West Palm Beach, Florida area, if you will, who got arrested because he had a huge arsenal of weapons. He was attached to this other person who was involved in a shooting case or an attempted shooting case. And then they from that case found this guy, and they believed he was going to be part of something big, and they got him before he did. That's what the sheriff's office says. He says, hearing you guys talk about the South Florida guy that got arrested yesterday, I wanted to share there was a mass swatting that happened yesterday, and it happened to my son's school and a bunch of others across the state. My son's school is a small school for kids with special needs. Needless to say, it scared the S out of us and left us wondering why somebody would ever do this. I hope they catch this basement dweller and kick the S out of him. It barely made the news, but I hope you can spread the word about this. Thank you, Wes. Wes, I've had it with these stories, and I think it's something in and of itself that a lot of the news media seemingly ignored this if it happened the way you're suggesting. Oh, another swatting story? How boring. I am firmly on the track of we deserve better than this. We deserve better than this. And when you have these sort of reoccurring problems, blame all of the politicians in your area and on a national level, because they could fix this. I've talked many a times about a lot of the homeless issues, which can be fixed. There are things that we could do. People always want to do the same stuff that's always based in just empathy only, empathy first. They turn out not to be empathetic things, and we get worse and worse outcomes for these people. When it comes to people stealing stuff, like my takes on the catalytic converters and the copper wiring and cables and stuff and tubing inside new construction, that stuff can be fixed. There's no reason why this stuff needs to happen. These cities where crime and theft is rampant and everybody runs wild, there's no reason why you have to live in that hellscape. It can be stopped in a moment. The swatting can be stopped like that, instantly. All you need is for the people who are elected officials in this country to go to the telecom companies and say, we need to do something to finally stop this. We will not allow, through Google Voice or any of these other services, somebody to dial 911 if their identity can be hidden anyway. When you're signing up for one of these services that allows you to make phone calls online, it should 100% require you to verify your identity. The loophole is that they believe they have to provide emergency access to these people who can be anonymous. And so they hide behind a VPN and all this other stuff. They call up, they fake a call, and they create a swatting incident. The telecoms, the big tech sites, and the politicians could stop this like that. They don't care. That's the bottom line. When things happen over and over and over and over and over and nobody stops it, it's because they don't actually care. Take that away from it and pressure people, because there's no need for this to occur, Wes. And I'm sorry that happened to your kid.
Do numbers exist even pro being able to call 911 anonymously? You know, like have there been significant lives saved by an anonymous 911 call? I mean,
sure.
Usually your anonymous tips to law enforcement is more of a, here's how to find somebody who has already committed a crime. Right? It's usually your crime lines, your tipsters, you know, whatever you have that facilitates that. You do the anonymous tip. A lot of times there's a payout. But in this case, it's like 911 for emergencies. Is there any precedent saying that was a good idea that we were able to contact that anonymously?
Well, what leads to it is fear and empathy based on somebody having like a phone. Like they'll always pitch it, C-Lane, as like, some battered woman is in a relationship and her husband keeps taking away all of her phones and all she has is this like Google Voice account and she wants to dial 911, but she can't because now they've, made you require your identification or something. There's always this far out there story. And although those circumstances exist, we don't need to frame everything around that. Like we could say, like, let's provide ways for these people who are in these troublesome spots to get out, but also let's close the loopholes that allow people to swat everybody. It's a huge problem. It's literally a massive problem. And there have been people who have died. There have been people who have died in these responses. And there's just no reason why they don't end it. It could be stopped in a second. I swear to God. So there you go. And sorry that happened to you. DJ emails about the fan who fell on the field in Pittsburgh. No doubt there will be orders to make the PNC Park stands safer for fans. But I went through this in October 2009 when I lived in San Diego. A 66-year-old game day employee of the Chargers fell 20 feet from the press box to his death before a Monday night game. OSHA, accident attorneys, and pearl clutchers came across California, condemned the stadium's safety, and they wanted the place torn down. This happens after all of these incidents. Yeah, sometimes you get changes for the better. Like I know in hockey, there was a lot of people getting hurt, and they made some changes safety-wise, and things improved. But sometimes it's a person's own fault. Like if you weren't over by the rail and flinging your body around, if you weren't drinking too much, if you weren't doing all of these things, you probably wouldn't end up in these positions. But that's where we're at on it. And final one for now, Jason says, yesterday, I picked up my 11-year-old daughter from school, and she was visibly upset.
Off to the races, Jason.
What? Keep reading the email. It'll make sense, I'm sure.
Well, yesterday I picked up my 11-year-old daughter from school on a horse, I guess.
Sorry.
And she was visibly upset. I asked her what was wrong, and she said, somebody chased me with a screwdriver.
Oh.
Hit the button.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chase you with a screwdriver.
There you go. I got the entire story from her. After weeding through what I feel was embellished, I've deduced that a child put a screwdriver in their backpack at home and then pulled it out and threatened, actually chased there you go, someone when they felt wronged or bad in some kind of way.
Okay, I don't understand where that went.
I set up a meeting with the principal to bring this to their attention. Is this a see something, say something situation, or am I overreacting? P.S. Death of the Penny, says Jason. I don't think you're overreacting. If somebody
might as well
threatened your
say
kid,
something.
yeah, I mean, with like a screwdriver. Yeah, that's no joke. Like, there's a lot of overreactions in school. We all know the story about the kid who had a gun in the shape of a Pop-Tart and the person who drew something on a piece of paper. But a screwdriver, if somebody's using it as a weapon, is a legitimate weapon. You can legitimately kill somebody or cause major harm to a person with a screwdriver. So I think you're right to bring that to the attention of the people of the school. I don't think that's overreacting. Protect your daughter. That's what your natural reaction was. When we come back, the next episode. What's coming up on the next episode?
Well, I'll tell you. What's coming up on the next episode? Your boy Fat Joe is throwing a fat lawsuit at his ex-hype man for saying he's a pedophile. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me 256 unreleased Metallica tracks. Plus, there are some dreams you feel like you'll never fulfill, and then Disney drops a 360 VR experience of the greatest cartoon pop star for us to make the dream reality-ish. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Happy Thursday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And today we are going to be seeing a good mix of sunshine and clouds. Overall, pleasant day, a high of around 80.
School Mike. Folks, excellent news. Honestly, just beautiful, fantastical news. The best news that one could ask for. The Skull Mike Squad stickers come in next week. They will be next week arriving here, and I will show them to you on one of the Skull Mike breaks. And not only will you see them, you'll be able to get them starting next week. Every gifted sub, you'll get one of those along with your magnet. And I'm going to try, maybe every couple of weeks, every month, getting a new item that will entice you to gift subs, and that'll be a fun extra thing for everybody to get. Lots of cool stuff on the way, including that. But I triple and quadruple down on that take. When you have stuff happening in your city, stuff that lowers the quality of life, street takeovers, protesters blocking highways, young kids stealing stuff at stores, big giant gangs of them doing stuff. All of those things can be stopped immediately by things we have in place. Law enforcement and the justice system, prosecutors, all of these people. If we don't have laws that properly take care of this situation and make us not live in a hellscape, we can make them. And if we have just been dealing with stuff that's garbage over and over and over and over again, it's because either no one cares or the politicians don't want to do anything about it. Swatting could be stopped in a day's time. They could easily do this, and it never happens again. And you can see stories disappearing, right? You guys see it. You're smart people. Stories disappear all the time. For instance, and we very rarely reflect, but about a month ago, 2 months ago, every single day the news was dominated by people attacking rando Teslas. They were attacking random people's Teslas. Tesla market value was dropping. They were putting swastikas on them and keying them and beating them and hitting the sideboards of random people that they didn't know at all because they're absolute lunatics, right? Unhinged, very political people. And it went on and on and on and on. People firebombed the Tesla facilities, the dealerships and stuff. And then finally, they threw a couple of people behind bars. Where's that story? Where's that social problem? It's gone. It's largely gone. People aren't doing it anymore because they're afraid that they're going to get arrested, because people actually do arrest them. And they'll hold you in jail. Unless you tell them that you're transgender and you need to get out to get some sort of transgender health care, and then they'll release you, apparently. That's one of the people that was responsible for the firebombs, allegedly. However, in most serious cities and serious states, they are locking these people up and taking care of the problem. We deserve better. Coming back. The next episode, coming up in 60 seconds. They said you'd have to have a cop on every corner to make sure no Tesla was touched. You don't need that. You don't need any of that. All you need is for people to see that if you mess with somebody's property, a Tesla, or any other car, that you will be arrested and you will go to jail and you will be prosecuted. And do you want to, is it worth it for you to spend 30, 60 days of your life behind bars? No. Problem solved. It literally is that simple. It is literally that easy. The problem is we have too many people who are pro-criminal. Pro-criminal. Insane. Crazy people.
800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Talking about what's trending. This is the News Junkie, Sean Wasson. This is the News Junkie.
In the world of entertainment and beyond, got some spicy emails coming in that we have to touch on at some point here. And one of them is by request. Before too long, we'll get to this anonymous email where that person that said they had a fling with their stepmother, just like the story we did. Sabrina goes, well, Sabrina said, you got to give us some more details. And they followed up with the details.
Yes.
Like it starts
soap.
It starts with, at the behest of Sabrina, the following is what I remember of that night.
Thank you. ...
And so we'll dive into that and a whole bunch more. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I'm horny, and I need some help.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And, what is it? His birthday.
Today is your day.
Happy birthday, Don.
Nice.
So if you don't follow his social medias on Instagram or Facebook, give him a follow and give him a birthday message, because that man is the man. A very dear friend. And also going to help you out when it comes to refinancing or buying your first dream home. Maybe you're looking at reverse mortgages or HELOCs and expanding your business. All those things. He's looking out for you, and I appreciate his friendship and that he is alive and born on this day. So happy birthday to that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat.
What?
Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
36 years ago, 1989, police in California were called to a jewelry store after employees reported a sus person.
Uh-oh.
That sus person turned out to be...
Michael Jackson?
That's right. Because he was wearing a disguise. And if you have time, you just do a quick Goog, 1989 Michael Jackson disguise. Because I do believe the photo is hilarious. And it's a very good disguise because the employees called the cops on him.
I see.
Also, in March of 2019...
This can't be it.
That's not it. No.
Oh, this is it. He looks like a woman dressed up as a man. He's got
That's
like a
right.
fake mustache and
Look at me. I love the Yankees. In March of 2019, TMZ confirmed that the 12-year-old that Michael was shopping with at the time in disguise was one of his Leaving Neverland accusers.
Oh, really?
So
this is another one of his disguises. He had weird disguises. This one looks like he's the Invisible Man.
Yeah, that doesn't draw any attention at all.
Just a normal egg person just wandering along.
Go shopping, no problem.
It's like Mac the Knight.
This guy right here.
That is Fat Joe.
Fat Joe is right, and he's not about to let anyone play with his name and get away with it. And of all people, it's his hype man who's getting his ass sued.
Uh-oh.
According to reports, the Bronx-born rapper now suing his ex-hype man Terrence Dixon for defamation. Why, you ask?
Why?
Thank you. Because Dixon took to social media and called him a pedophile.
Ooh. All right. Well, you should sue people for that if you are, in fact, not.
Yeah. Fat Joe ain't stopping there. He's also suing Dixon's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, which is an awesome name.
I'm just glad it's not Tony Busby, because that's what I thought was going to happen here, too.
For defamation and emotional distress. They say that the claims that Dixon blasted out countless posts on social media containing torrent of wholly fabricated, grotesque, and scandalous allegations accusing Fat Joe of unspeakable acts such as pedophilia, statutory rape, and sexual assault. And now he's taking his ass to court. Joe ain't buying that it's just some ex-employee rant. He says he is straight up shakedown plot, and the paperwork backs it up. It all popped off in March of 2025, and he kept doing ghostwriting, or he claimed that he was ghostwriting for him. He got uncredited vocal things, and because this ex-hype man didn't get his payday, he decided to take it to social media and call Fat Joe a pedophile. And, well, we'll see how it all goes down in court. Any day now. A desperate scam, Fat Joe calls it.
Good luck, Fat Joe.
What do we call this? 256 unreleased songs.
That's a lot. I
About
call it
to
a lot of songs.
Be released. Just from one album.
Mega album?
It's a super load.
Ew. All right.
Metallica announced
Have one of those ones.
Ew, Sean.
What? I didn't say anything. What do you-
Talk about that here.
You don't even know what I was talking about, first of all.
Okay, what were we talking about?
It was a time when I was moving from
Don't
one
back
place to
them up,
another,
Simon.
and I had a lot of stuff in my vehicle. I had it all packed up. It was a huge load. I'm horny, and I need some help. It's not related. That's not related to this.
They announced an expanded deluxe reissue of the 1996 album Load that's going to arrive June 13th. And as the re-release of Load, the new reissue, remastered by Reuben Cohen, with an oversight of Greg Fiddleman.
Yeah, I love them.
Big time. And the reissue comes with a few additions. The most accessible being 2LP vinyl release, which has the original track list and remastered audio, a separate 3 CD, which is
it's a compact
silver
disc.
Yeah, and you put them in a player, and that plays music for anyone listening right now. It's never heard of that before.
Good old days.
And then on top of that, hardcore fans can also get a gargantuan box. I've had one of those. 15 CDs, 6 LPs, 4 DVDs, and essentially 245 unreleased tracks for $275.
Oh, they missed out on not calling it the mother load.
Yeah.
All right. I got a question. I got a question for you guys real quick. Won't take long.
Metallica load.
Close your eyes.
And
right?
I'll kiss you.
Close your eyes and picture a music CD.
Yeah.
What CD is it?
Ooh. right off the bat was Pink Misunderstood.
Pink Misunderstood. What was yours, C-Lane?
I would definitely have to say Dookie by Green Day.
The story they had about this from Uprocks was the most CDs out there. Like when you think of CDs, was Green Day Dookie was one of them. Snoop Dogg, the one where it's like the
Snoop
dog
is a
cartoon.
Great one. Oh, you're talking about the cover. I was looking at the CD itself.
But when you think of CDs, you think
Like
of
the
those.
case. Yeah.
Like you just think of that experience being CD-based.
So I wish I had not seen what was on your laptop before you asked, because I tried not to think about Dookie, and all I thought about was Jimmy Buffett's songs you know by heart.
All right. So very different guess.
But now we're thinking of Dookie again. Let's go from Dookie to dogs.
I'm listening.
Rolling Stone, they're hard at work over there, and they have now given us the best 15 movie dogs of all time.
Hell yeah.
You've been asking.
All right.
And now you got it.
Is Beethoven on there?
Beethoven not on the top 15, which
Air Bud.
is up. Can you chill out for a second?
Lady the Dog better be on there.
Lady Dog is number 16.
Yeah, no. Didn't even make the top 15. Boo.
At number 1 is Carlito. Number 15, though, is my dog. That's my dog, Carlito. Carl. Bruiser from Legally Blonde, the Chihuahua. We have Einstein, the sheepdog from Back to the Future. Yeah. The Pitbull and John Wick. Is that the one that was murdered?
Because it was a key part of the whole plot, the reasoning.
This, I believe, should be way higher up, but Winky from Best in Show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
God Loves a Terrier. We have Apollo the Great Dane from The Friend, Hooch from Turner and Hooch, Baxter from Anchorman, Jack from The Artist. He's a Jack Russell. Creative name.
You punted Baxter.
The bad man. The bad man. Where are you?
Top 3. Ready?
Yeah.
For the dogs.
Where was he, Sean?
A glass case of emotion, friend. All right, number 3.
Toto from Wizard of Oz. Congratulations, Toto.
That's a big one.
At number 2, C-Lane, go ahead, say it.
Air Bud?
Yeah, Buddy, the Golden Retriever and Air Bud, Air Bud 2, Air Bud 3.
Nostalgic.
The soccer Air Bud. And at number 1, any guesses, gentlemen?
Damn, who would be Lassie?
Lassie is right!
Nice.
Wait, was Lassie a movie?
I in my head when you said number 1, I said classic dog. Like I just thought classic dog in my head, and Lassie came to mind. I didn't think of Toto though, which is a real oversight.
Yeah, big time.
And no Beethoven.
No
Beethoven.
Beethoven was my favorite dog.
Beethoven was that was our time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beethoven was definitely my time.
Yeah, roll over Beethoven.
And then what was Beethoven's girlfriend that he ran away with?
Oh.
No, it's not Lady. With the bow and the evil stepmom or something.
Sluts-her-face.
Sluts-her-face. That is correct.
I think that was it. Yeah.
And those are real dogs. Let's talk about cartoon dogs. This is very exciting for also people from my time. C-Lane, I don't know if this was... Were you a Goofy movie fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just jealous because you don't got the moves.
Well, eye to eye, more like eye to eyes are everywhere. This is my segue. 360 VR Powerline concert coming to a VR set near you, and can you let me borrow it?
Nice.
Ready to feel old? 30 years ago, the Goofy movie came out. A Goofy movie.
I just played it for Jackson the first time a couple weeks ago.
Did he love it? Did he love it?
He was fine with it.
Is it still good? Does it still hold up?
I think so. And every time I see
he doesn't like it. He doesn't like
SpaghettiOs, I think of like when they had to make it with the car lighter.
Yeah.
That was probably disgusting.
I thought it was fun.
Celine hates every animated movie.
I didn't hate the movie. I did want to be the other kid, though, in the big-ass RV.
Oh, yeah. Max. Or no. The fat one.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to be the stoner kid.
Max was Goofy's kid.
Why was there so many fat sidekicks back then?
Or
like
the
everybody
stoner
had
one who loved the cheese. The cheese whiz.
Was that Pauly Shore?
I believe so. Yep. Well, now you can get the VR experience. They're going to have you inside the concert while Powerline sings Eye to Eye. And there's even an audience full of adoring fans cheering you on as you soak in all the sights just like a pop star. Happy birthday, Goofy movie. On the
Leaning
boob
Tower of
tube.
Cheesa.
Yeah, the Leaning Tower of
Cheesa. But there was another one, like you put it in the cheese. This is why I hate quoting. We had a 1 hour special, Lifelines of Hope on the CW. Ooh. Another Simple Favor on Amazon, series premiere of the 4 seasons on Netflix. That's with Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, and Coleman Domingo. You can catch Walton Goggins on Stephen Colbert, and you follow your dreams. I'm on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra, and most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina.
I'm not seeing Pauly Shore on this list. Maybe it wasn't him.
No, I put in
absolutely
Pauly
was
Shore Goofy movie, and it came up with Pauly Shore Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
He had the little glasses and mohawk. Clearly a stoner.
Is it possible that he was just talking about it? He wasn't part of it? Why is Pauly Shore uncredited in a Goofy movie?
Okay,
because
can you look up the character voices?
He requested that he not be credited in that movie.
That's very weird.
He didn't want Disney to promote the movie based on his name.
Okay. Oh, that's going to suck in the 30-year anniversary.
He thinks he's so big that Disney needs the Pauly Shore name to promote a Goofy movie. Are you out of your mind?
That's a great piece of nostalgia right there. Like,
sure is.
That's one of those ones that you think about. And
Either
you
of you have a
oh.
VR set?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
I'm not going to buy one just for that, so I just need to borrow somebody's.
No, somebody's got one out there. There's still people buying that stuff.
Fowler has one.
All right,
yeah, he does.
Josh?
At least he did. Yeah, he's the king of buying things and using them a couple times like that, and then never again. We'll get to that anonymous email.
How's that loop station going?
Sabrina's.
My drone.
Sabrina's question yesterday about this person that said that they slept with their stepmom or dad's girlfriend, I guess in this case. We'll get to that. We also have more from Bill Bellichick because he is fighting back, baby. He's coming to defend his lady. He's arrived. We'll talk about that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Join the Jim Colbert Show for Boozy Brunch, Sunday, May 4th. Details at realradio.fm/brunch.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 westbound before State Road 434. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident, slowing down traffic on State Road 408 eastbound at Tampa Avenue. There's an overturned vehicle getting cleared up on I-95 south.
Let's go, Mike. Somebody says Son-in-Law is such a great movie. No way, buddy. It's not Son-in-Law. That's not the top Pauly Shore movie. What's the In the Army Now? That's the classic one. Where he's got like the rocket launcher and he goes, suck on this a one time. And then he fires the rocket launcher backwards because he's a army moron. That's classic right there. That's classic Pauly Shore. Biodome is great. Oh, I haven't seen Biodome in decades, but in my head, I wonder, like, is that one of those movies that doesn't hold up? You watch it now and you go, what the hell? What was I thinking? All right, we got some time, folks. Let's hang out together. Hey, Loose Neutral. Hey, Rachel, Lynette. Hey, Sam. Hey, Got Crypto. Hey, Night Nurse. Hello, everybody. Hello. Those are all classic movies. And one of the last couple of weeks, Courtney and I were going on our walk, and we were talking about An American Tale. Because a long time ago, I sang the song from American Tale in the show, where all the rats were in Europe and they were coming to America. And they said, there are no cats in America and the streets are made of cheese. And what a banger that is, number one. And number two, I don't feel like that's connecting with the youngs these days. I don't know if young people know about Fievel. Fievel came over here. Then he realized the streets weren't made of cheese and there were still cats in America. And then Fievel went west. for a little while. Classic. Somewhere out there. Classic, Kevin. Classic. And Feifel's like looking up at the sky, and then the other person's looking up at the same sky. And then you get sad, and then you're like, oh, it's a happy little moment. That's good shit. But I think now, honestly, now some of these animated features, like there's one coming out from Pixar. And in my estimation, in my opinion, not humble at all, because you shouldn't be humble. You should be proud of yourself. And flaunt it when you need to, folks. You do you. But Pixar has kind of lost their way. They started to with things like Lightyear, that was a dumpster fire. Their storytelling has been kind of shoddy, and they've put out a bunch of things that don't really connect as much. They've had some hits and some really good stuff. But then they got things like that Elio that's coming out about the one-eyed kid. They're like, look, we made him a half-blindo. So it's going to be relatable for all the kids out there, because this kid, he's got an issue, and all kids have an issue. And they've completely redone that movie, I think, twice so far. It looks like that one's going to be a nightmare. Animated movies, they're kind of in a soft spot right now. Save for China, who's cranking out the good shit. And save for Float. Float is not for everybody, but if you like artistic things, if you like the idea of communicating without words, if you like clever storytelling through animation, Float is brilliant. Absolutely beautiful. A movie with no words that can make you cry. There's my review of Float. A movie with no words that can make you cry. It's brilliant. It's like that dude on TikTok who doesn't speak and just shows how people overcomplicate things. And then he shows the simple version of it, and it goes viral every time. And because nobody's speaking any languages, it works for people all around the world, all over the whole thing. No language barriers. I'm about to sing Imagine in here. If you need a good laugh, watch Up. Up is boilerplate storytelling. It's kind of sweet, but kind of leans too much into the old guy. There's parts of it that I like. It's before Pixar fell off, I think, so I don't hate that. And there's some cutesy things, but you got the dog. He gives you a couple laugh lines. 1 minute. Pixar should make a movie about a radio show host? Yeah. Who won't want to see that? Pixar movie about a radio host. Here we go.
Of your injuries. Don't accept pennies on the dollar. Never sign anything until you speak with me. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Radio. 104.1
hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or two. Before you're listening.
I know you might hear me talking and going, this guy's a real dummy. And you want to fire back? That's fine. I like to do that. Unlike the old lady we talked about earlier, I like to discuss things. I like to disagree. I like to chat about things.
Even dummy.
Even controversial things. I love it. I think it's what makes the world go round. We started being a bunch of Karens and pearl clutchers, and then all dialogue shut down in this country. We should bring it back. You shouldn't be clutching your pearls every time you hear something you disagree with, and you're like, ooh, that's dangerous. All that's dumb, in my opinion. We'll hear yours with that dispatch that's coming up soon. Go to thenewsjunkie.com to send yours now. Anonymous sends an email in response to Sabrina's question. Let me preface this with a little story. We did what I think...
I thought you were about to say a story about a stepmom.
No. We did what I think was maybe the most... salacious, horned up story that we've ever done in the history of this show yesterday. That story read like the pages of Penthouse magazine or something. And the police officer that wrote the report put in so many explicit details about how this kid was making love to his stepmom.
Well, the kid provided all the details.
He
Sure did. I mean, from what movie they were watching, from the kisses on the neck.
How she flicked her panties down her legs and then kicked them off in the room.
Also, didn't she ask, or didn't she say something about how the members that were related?
She said,
that was a lot of detail.
That was her excuse when her husband broke in and saw her with her stepson because the dad caught him. And she said, well, it looks just like you, but younger.
I think she told that to the 15-year-old boy on the phone the next day.
Yeah.
Because he had called her.
Yeah, they kept going. Dad walked in on this happening, and then Dad hauled ass out of there with his son, and Dad went to the grocery store like a old school real man. Dad goes into the gas station, actually, that he showed up at after catching his stepson having sex with his wife. He goes into the gas station, he buys a 6-pack of beer, and he starts pounding the beers in the car.
And told his son, you ruined my life.
You ruined my life. And he goes, I'm never going to see you again. I'm going to drop you off at your grandpa's house. You ruined my life. And he's just chugging beers one after another. And he drops his kid off at Pop-Pop's house.
He said he purchased a 6-pack of beer and began drinking them aggressively.
It's so
just shotgunning them,
like Joe Dirt. That's the existence where all this comes from. So somebody reached out with an email yesterday, and they said something like that happened to me, and then they didn't give any more details. And Sabrina said, "Where's the details?" Anonymous follows up. Once again, please keep my name anonymous, and I shall, sir, ma'am, whatever. At the behest of Sabrina, the following is what I remember of that night. Myself, my dad, and my dad's girlfriend were all at my dad's condo at one of the local beaches here in Central Florida. All of us were drinking at the time. Dad used to let me have a few beers. He doesn't say. Dad used to let me have a few beers as long as we were not going anywhere, even though I was only in my teens.
Okay.
So he was a teenager. I believe he had gone to bed, and the girlfriend and I were out in the living room watching TV and chatting. She started to get flirty and was most definitely drunk at this point. She then proceeds to baby bird feed me whatever sweet white wine she was drinking at the time.
You say baby bird as in she had it in her mouth and spit it into his.
Yeah.
Okay.
She drank the wine and then she baby birded it into his mouth.
I've had that done to me before.
Have you?
Uh-huh. All right.
It was not family, right? It was
not family.
All right, just wanted to make clear. Just want to be clear. She then proceeds to baby bird feed me whatever sweet white wine she was drinking. We start making out on the couch for a bit. Then she leads me to my room. We end up having sex, and then in the middle of the sex, she passed out, completely naked in my bed.
Oh, no.
Me, also drunk and in my teens, I'm not sure what to do, so I just went to sleep.
Oh.
I don't exactly remember how the next morning unfolded, who got up first, or if she was still in my room.
That's
I do
a repressed
remember
memory for sure.
not saying a damn thing and kind of waiting for my dad to address the situation. That moment, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure, never came. When you guys were talking about the son and the stepmom story on the show, it jarred my memory. I had completely forgotten or blocked this out. On a related note, you guys brought up the mom-son porn being a popular category. I happen to be partial to that genre.
What a surprise.
Well, there's this nature versus nurture here. Like, do you like that because of what went down? Or
art, life?
Did you always like that? When you guys were talking about son and stepmom story, it jarred my memory. Oh, I'm sorry. After listening to you talk about the story and revisiting my own experience, I had the realization that is probably where that fetish of mine developed. So basically, at this point, you guys are therapists. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I hope you got some entertainment value from my story. And we did.
Keep an eye out for our invoice of thousands of dollars because insurance really doesn't cover it all that much.
This is a high service that we provide each day. You can tell us what's going on in your life with emails and dispatches amidst all the viral stuff we have going on, and we will tell you what you should do and how we feel about that. And
Sean is not only a therapist, but he also has a lot of great in-depth analysis about things.
Yeah.
He's more of an analrapist. Just like therapist, analyst together.
That's not
life coach.
Not a thing. Christine emails the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Also, real quick, thank you so much for sending the part two. I appreciate that.
That was nice. We appreciate that, Anonymous. Christine, not Anonymous, says
that was nice.
when you were talking about the fines that the team and coach were getting because his son found the information on an unsecured tablet, I wasn't surprised at all. She's talking about the Falcons the NFL fining the Falcons $250,000 and the father of this prankster $100,000 for prank calling Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' kid, and pretending that he was getting drafted.
Usually the first name is where people get mixed up.
All right, there's so many details to this damn story.
Sports.
I work your basic office job, although I do it from home, and because of my role, I have access to personal information for people. Every year, I have to sign an attestation stating that I am responsible for the security of the information I have access to, and that failure to keep that information secured can lead to penalties up to including termination. This attestation comes after training, which includes not talking about data in public, making sure nobody unauthorized can see my screen. So it's probably maybe like banking data or personal data or something.
I've attached all of those documents.
Here you go. I would not be surprised if the coach has signed something saying he can be fined if he doesn't keep the personal information secured. That might be the case, yeah. I don't know for sure, but I would put money on the fine is because the unsecured data and the son using it is just the proof that he didn't keep it secured. Love the show. Christine. Thank you, Christine, for the email as well. And over to another woman, quite like the woman on the show yesterday. There's a lot of very horny people out there, one would think, reading some of these stories in the news. And this woman had a conversation and sexual contact with an underage boy. And the strangest
mugshot is something.
Thing about this is she met this underage boy at a funeral. That's where this started.
Have you not been horny at a funeral?
Seems to me like this is the female Will Ferrell. She's crashing funerals instead of weddings because that's passé. And this woman did this all at a funeral. A Florida woman, surprisingly, who allegedly engaged in sexual conduct with an underage boy she met at a funeral, now faces 7 felony charges.
That's a lot. There's more to the story.
Ayla Salinas, 20 years old, was released on bond. They said the correspondence between her and the underage boy escalated to sexual contact.
Okay, how underage? Because a 17-year-old, and that's not too far from her age.
The only thing that I had about this said that it was a boy between the ages of 12 and 16. So that doesn't land on exactly where we were on this. But yeah, he was between the ages of 12 and 16. And I don't know,
it's very bad.
Is she giving goth vibes or like cholo vibes or I don't know
Chola, first of all.
Chola, whatever.
That is, I'm blanking on the style, but like
Isla
it's waves.
Gonzalez Salinas. So she is Hispanic, I would assume.
I just have never seen it right in the middle.
Yeah, it's an interesting hair part that she has going on here. I'll put her up on See It Now on the website at thenewsjunkie.com so you could take a peek. But she's in some trouble as well. Folks, ladies in particular, as of the last couple of days, you got to keep it in your pants, please. You've got to make sure these people are of age. There's plenty of grown adults who will be interested in having a sexual relationship with you. All right? There are plenty of grown adults who will be plenty interested to do this. I don't know about this woman. But, I mean, with most people, you're going to be able to find somebody. Here we go. 20.
It says part of their, and they put story in quotes on the story in People about this. Part of their story involved the child saying he was the one who initiated the sexual relationship with a 20-year-old woman per the affidavit obtained by WPEC.
That seems to be the thing.
Well, she finds herself in a world of trouble. Check out that mugshot over at thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that See It Now section in what they call the hamburger menu, the navigation of the website. You'll see it. So do join us on the show. Let's work into dispatch right now. We'll get one of you on with us here. Here is some of these I can play, some of these I can't. Flip is talking about that screwdriver story that came in via email where somebody said, my kid was threatened by another student with a screwdriver. Should I tell the school?
Hey, Jason, I actually thought maybe your daughter was upset because you had picked her up from school on a horse by the sounds of the music and everything.
That was my bad.
Anyways, yeah, that's a legitimate concern that you need to bring up to the principal for sure. My son is highly functioning autistic with ADHD and anger issues, and he
also on a horse
is the kid who is bullied relentlessly at school, and I check his belongings every day before he goes to school to make sure he isn't the kid that takes a screwdriver to school.
Good for you.
To stab his bullies. So apparently his dad needs English class too.
There you go. Thank you, Flip. Appreciate that. That's good input for the emailer. You guys can always interact with each other. This is a forum where everybody's invited to be involved. That includes you. So join us with your dispatch. Send it at thenewsjunkie.com right now. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I got that Bill Bellichick update. Like it or not, he's coming out full-throated defense of his 20-something-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson.
Oh, does he have a shirt with no holes in it this time?
He's probably wearing a holy shirt. Let's just be real. That's just his style. He's not going to change this for anybody. And Jordan must like it. But he's coming out and saying, enough's enough. Here's what I think about this whole drama. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, we'll talk about school starting times and dashboard ducks. At 4 o'clock, we'll do Date Night Done Right, find out what's happening in Orlando this weekend. We'll also do Colbert Court with our buddy Glenn Klausman from Klausman Law. For trivia, it's Metallica tickets. Plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on Florida's Turnpike southbound south of State Road 408. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 before Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. There's slowdowns once you get off the ramp of Florida's Turnpike to I-75 northbound. You won't be expecting any trouble around the perimeter of I-4 on State Road 429 in the Greenway. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by True Green. Summer is better with True Green. Get the best lawn at the best price. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com today and let the pros handle the work while you enjoy the results. Restrictions apply.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With that mortgage TheMortgageGuyDon.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf.
Hello, School Mike. Now what are you going to do?
I said vacuum and clean the pool.
I want you to do a good job, okay? I want you to make sure you're putting the work in.
What are you going to do?
I am busy working very hard. Why are you laughing?
What isn't from, what does Bob say in Schitt's Creek?
Oh,
hardly working or good day?
Having a good day? Oh, he goes, you doing good or hardly working? He goes, that's not how that goes. All right.
Okay.
You're dismissed.
Good day, sir.
Good day, ma'am.
I bid you adieu.
I bid you adieu. Hello, everybody. Bellichick is trying to be the next pope. He's pope age. You know what's so hilarious to me? Have you seen the video of Bill Belichick? And he's walking through somewhere. I think it may be a stadium. And Jordan, his 26-year-old girlfriend, is with him. And he is walking along in his Bill Belichick attire. Very much what he always wears, his Bill Belichick uniform. At 73 years old, he's walking through. And then she's next to him, and she's kind of got her jacket like half hanging off of her arms as she's walking along. And it looks like a man with his great-great-granddaughter. And there's a level of that that's weird to me. That's two consenting adults, but she looks pretty young and he looks pretty old. The thing that's crazy is, I think, I have a grand theory. My grand theory is Leonardo DiCaprio and all these guys are with a lot of younger women because the younger women will be hanging out with their friends, they'll be hanging out with younger people. When you're looking at the world through your eyes, you don't see that you're aging or getting old. You look at the people around you. As you get older, your friends get older, and you just start to see old around you. And I think a lot of those people, Cher, Madonna, they want to be with somebody. When they look at them, they see somebody younger. Their friends are all younger. You feel like you're still young, and you feel like you've captured youth in a net. That's my theory. That's my theory. The other theory is they want to bang young people. But that's one of my theories. Okay, folks. We're coming back right now.
Wilmer's friend and former That 70s Show castmate Topher Grace stops by the Speakeasy for a two-part interview to discuss his career and reminisce about old times.
We were still in that place of like, what will this experience become? And you go, you're having the best time you're ever going to have. Yeah. But it was like such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, HAPPY, happy. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
On a constant quest to stay calm, like that bear in the hammock.
You look great today. Thanks for hanging out with the three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. We'll get to dispatches and more of your feedback in a moment, plus Bill Belichick's situation and update on that. I have a theory, though. I have a theory that I've been floating around, and I want to see if this lands with people, because it starts with a big question. When you see Bill Bellichick, who's 73 years old, and he's dating Jordan Hudson, this 26-year-old that like interrupted the CBS interview and did all that stuff that's caused a big back and forth, and his friends want to have like an intervention. You got to get rid of her and all this stuff. What do you think it is that makes somebody like Bill Bellichick in their 70s want to be with somebody who's 26 years old?
Makes you feel young again.
Makes you feel young again is Sabrina's theory. What about you, Celine?
Because she's hot.
Because she's hot, like a sex thing, driven by the physicality of it. My theory on this, and I don't know how widespread this can be applied, but when you look at like your Leonardo DiCaprios and you look at your Bill Belichick's or anybody who's like a star who's older and then constantly or consistently dates younger people, I think it's because you view the world through your own eyeballs, right? You see everybody else around you. What you don't see, and what's kind of weird about growing up and growing older, you don't really see yourself growing older. You don't see that unless you look into the mirror and you go, oh, that's right. That's what I look like. You see the people around you. So if you're consistently with somebody who's in their 20s, you're looking out of your eyes and seeing them, and it makes you feel like a young person. It makes you feel like you too are in that like stage of somehow arrested development.
Sure.
And you're still young and living your life. You're hanging out with the young person. All their friends are younger. You're still cool. You're still young.
But that's only through like friends and people you date, because from what I understand, nothing makes you feel older than when your kids are growing around you,
Yes. Yeah, but that is that the Bill Belichick gets separated because now his kids are like old. I'm pretty sure his kids are old. Somebody says she's 24, not 26. How old is she? Because
I think
I don't want to get it wrong.
How old is Jordan?
24. She is. She's 24. Okay. Jordan Hudson's 24. So he's 73. She's 24. I really think this is like a Peter Pan syndrome thing, where you date somebody, they're young, you're looking at them, you're exploring the world through them. You see them, you feel like you look like them. I'm the same. We're the same as each other. And it makes you feel like you're forever young. I honestly think that's what's going on.
I mean, I also haven't been on that side of the age gap position, but I think you just like see something that seems unattainable, and all of a sudden they're giving you attention, and you like this kind of attention. It makes you feel good.
Sure.
The young thing probably is just a bonus.
Yeah, but if it was that, if it's just about sexual attraction or like the physicality, there are plenty of people who are 30, 40, 50, women who are 50, 60, 70 even, who still are physically attractive and would get you as revved up as anybody else. I think, honestly, I really believe it's more about the lifestyle of pretending like you're still young, because these people tend to have all the money, all the power, but the one thing that you can't buy is youth. You could try, but you really can't buy it. And I've talked to Dylan about this, my son, before, and I've said as much, and I should probably talk to him about this more, but there is a really...
This is like when you met his 60-year-old girlfriend?
No, that's not true. That didn't happen, no. But there really is this thing where you hit a part in like maybe your 30s where you realize you're not quite as young anymore.
How dare you?
And you wish you made the most of all of those days and months and years when you were like 21 to 29. If you're in that age bracket, just live it up, baby. Make some bad decisions every now and then.
I know I made the most of those years.
Put yourself out there.
Free.
Have fun and do it all. Because when you're 30 and 40 and 50, you could slow down a little bit and you're going to start to feel different. But in that day and age, you're right there. You've got it all in your hands by the balls.
Do we know, has anybody commented on whether or not Bill Belichick is older than her father?
He must be.
Jordan Hudson's. Oh,
yeah.
There's
just no way, because she's 24 years old. Her father's going to be 50 something, maybe 50, 60
Lee
at the
Hudson,
most.
60.
60 years old.
Business manager at Toys of Eros, which sells lingerie, sex toys, erotic books, and boasts its own sex museum.
Oh,
that's a fun fact. That's a weird household.
This brings me back to, I remember there's a viral photo of, a lot of you people won't know who this is, but I'll explain it anyhow. There's a radio show back in the day. My friend is the producer for a show called Opie and Anthony. And Opie and Anthony one time was on satellite radio and syndicated on a bunch of, I think it was Infinity stations, maybe CBS, I don't know. At the time,
Infinity before CBS.
Yeah. So they were on a lot of markets, and they were one of these edgy shows. And the guy, Anthony Cumia, who is still in radio to a certain extent, I think, he was with some girl. And, let me see if I could find the photo of this. Anthony Cumia, young girl, father. And there was like a Christmas photo or something of them. And it's him and this younger woman that he's with, and then her father. And he's clearly older than the girlfriend's father. And you're like, looking at the photo, you're like, what is this father thinking? That somebody who's older than him is dating his little girl. And now they have to pretend like this isn't a weird thing at the Christmas get-together. And it's so weird. Those moments are, and there's a lot of people that I guess want to do that.
It'd be so weird if they did have this family gathering and Anthony's like, finally, somebody to talk to here. Like,
here it is. This is what I'm talking about. This is his girlfriend at the time. This is Anthony Cumia.
Right.
The radio shows. This was his girlfriend at the time and her father. And he's like the age of the father. And you imagine your young daughter who's like 19 or something is with old radio guy. Like, smile for the holiday photo. Here we go.
Some people are into it. Like one of my very good friends in college loved older men. Like, wherever we went, if there was a dude over the age of 45 or 50, and she was, 19, 20. She was
go
like,
for it?
Right, yep, and ended up marrying a very wonderful man who is like 30 years her senior.
Really?
And is very
where do you
happy.
think, where does that come from?
I don't know.
Like, using the theory that I laid out there, is there an element where it's like you found safety, security in your father and you loved him as that
your dad was really cool.
person in your life, and you wanted to replicate that in the man that you were with, and so therefore you picked older dudes. There's like, none of this happens for no reason. There's a motivation behind all of these things. There's a reason why it happens. And that all brings us to Bill Belichick's response. And now he is defending his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. She is, to her credit, made a pretty big name for herself in the last 72 hours. All it took was interrupting one interview on CBS and being with an old dude, and she's making a name for herself right now.
Honestly, I couldn't remember what her name was before this week. I knew that he had a young girlfriend that supposedly met on a plane. But
I just remember that video of them walking through an airport or like some hotel lobby, and she's wearing like a big sweatshirt, and it just screamed, "That's your granddaughter walking."
I was talking about that in Disco Mike during the break. I said, "There's a photo. I think they're at a stadium or something, and he's walking by. Bill Belichick's walking by. He's all of 73 years old in his Bill Belichick outfit, and then she has a jacket kind of half hanging off of her, and she looks like this tiny little thing, and it's weird. It's weird to me, but." You know, they're consenting adults and let them do what they want. Here's what we learn now. Bill Belichick is defending his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, after this viral CBS interview. And here's the response that we have now. The Chapel Bill, like Chapel Hill era, has already taken an interesting route in North Carolina. Bill Bellichick defended his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, after an interview he sat for, which aired on CBS's Sunday Morning. I've got their response in just a second, too, because CBS Sunday Morning is firing back. The interview featured a now viral moment where the girlfriend quickly interrupted after the 73-year-old was asked by a reporter how Belichick and Hudson first met. He says, "I was surprised when unrelated topics were introduced in the interview." This is Bill Belichick. "And I repeatedly expressed to the reporter, Tony Dokupo, and the producers that I preferred to keep that conversation centered on the book. After this occurred several times, Jordan, with whom I share both a personal and professional relationship, stepped in to reiterate that point to help refocus the discussion. He wants her to be his tiger. He wants her to be like his tiger mom in this zone, or tiger kid. Bellichick said in the statement,
thank you,
that the interview was edited after it took place to make it seem like they were avoiding the question of how they met. Bellichick said the couple met in 2021 on a flight to Palm Beach, Florida. The admission matched an Instagram post from Hudson earlier this year. She said they met in February of 2021. Damn, they met in February of 2021?
Yeah.
4 years ago? So she was 20 when they first met?
Sure.
He was almost 70, and then she was 20. He said, I've never been worried about what other people think. He said that in the interview. Here's CBS News and their comments. It says, we agreed to speak with Mr. Bellichick, and it was for a wide-ranging interview. There were no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly with this publisher before the interview took place and after it was completed, says CBS. But we do know, and I think we're right on this, we all kind of agreed, CBS knew what they were up to. They had a camera on the younger girlfriend for no reason. There
was a reason.
The reason was because she was a big part of his life, and they wanted to talk about that. And here's the truth, baby. I'll give it to you. Even CBS and Sunday Morning, that program, they know what Bill Bellichick is talking about is boring with a capital B. It's boring to do an interview and talk about his book and just keep it the stuff focused on the book and what's it like to be a champion and what was this like? All the questions you've heard him answer 7 billion times. Everybody in the room was focused on the other thing, the relationship between him and this 24-year-old woman. Girl, not yet a woman. One of the two. And that was the interesting thing going on. And then she interrupted and they go, there's no way we could keep this. This is the juice, baby. This is the content. You got to find the content in all of the moments that you're wandering in. If you can, then you're good. And you know what you're doing. He seems to be happy. She seems to be happy, I guess. They're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Fine by me.
Go well.
But it's not going well in his family because his daughter-in-law, Jennifer, has lashed out and said that this
Jennifer is older than her, I believe.
Painfully awkward. She must be. They don't have Jennifer Bellichick's name. Oh, a daughter-in-law. I don't know what she actually is. It says the former cheerleader said, we're not talking about this, and interrupted. That's the 24-year-old. And the family is rallying around this. It says Jennifer, who's been married to Bill's son for 8 years, so I'm assuming Jennifer Bellichick, had an extremely different take when talking about this.
Steven?
She said, publicists act in a professional manner and don't storm off set delaying an interview. That's the daughter-in-law. So the daughter-in-law is not thrilled with all of this.
She is. I'm getting the age. Wait for it.
The son's 38.
Yes.
So
I'm not. She somehow has scrubbed her age somewhere. I will say, though, that she just posted happy 18th birthday to my oldest.
Oh, really? All right.
So.
Yeah. She's got kids who are almost as old as the person dating Bill Bellichick. It's a weird world, man, but everybody's of age. Everybody's consenting.
It's also lifestyle of the rich and famous. Like, this is way out of our zone.
Oh, he's got big money. I don't know where she comes from. I don't know her background.
The sex toy shop that dad owns.
Business. Where what now?
Her dad owns
a sex toy shop?
Yeah,
like lingerie shop. That's what you just said in the thing about her dad.
I shared with you.
Oh,
and they also tout that it's a sex museum. Whatever that means.
You guys have my brain rocked right now. I did not read anything about a sex museum
I
or
read
a sex.
I read it out loud.
Oh,
to you.
I'm sorry. Okay, I missed it.
You should listen
I
to the show
apologize.
more often.
I do sometimes, but that went right past me. I apologize. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, she's doing her thing, and she's making a name for herself. She's getting the bag. She's getting the money. She's doing it.
Bag, but all right.
So go for it, buddy. You could all do this if you want to. Maybe. At least some of you.
Maybe his son will have like the same penis with younger skin.
Okay. All right. It's break time.
That sounds really weird out of context.
Yeah, it does.
And I was just thinking of something really inappropriate. All right. We will take a quick break. And when we come back, the tariffs. I know you want to talk about the tariffs. Tariff talk is one of the most fun things you could possibly do.
I've been waiting.
Here's one of the issues. The tariffs are threatening something that I enjoy very, very much. And as a result,
they're raising the prices at Disney?
They may be way more expensive.
Oh, no.
It's got nothing to do with Disney. Mind your bees. And we'll talk about what is happening, what could be completely ruined, honestly, in your life that I bet you like too because of the tariffs. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA.
We'll start with NHL action, and the Lightning were eliminated by the Panthers yesterday. Florida now waits for their second-round opponent. It'll be either Toronto or Ottawa. SI's named 3 Bucks rookies who have a solid shot to start in Week 1 this year. They're wide receiver Emike Egbuka, cornerbacks Benjamin Morrison, and corner Jacob Parrish. And a pair of big Game 6s in the NBA playoffs tonight. Knicks are in Detroit. Denver heads to L.A. to take on the Clippers. I'm Scott Davidson.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Folks, I want to tell you about a company that does things the right way. And this isn't even just my opinion. I've seen this for so many people who have had an issue with, in this case, their air conditioner at their house. It's not blowing as cold as it used to. It's really just something's wrong. And you don't want to go through trying to fix it yourself and hurting yourself or breaking more than is already broken. You need this company, Mills Air. They are the one. I've looked through a bunch of these companies out there, and this is the one you can trust. They got the best techs out there. They can service any kind of AC. If you have a very complicated setup or a very simple setup, if it's some brand that you know and that everybody knows or a different one, Carrier or otherwise, Mills Air will be there to help. They've been doing this for over 30 years, and their techs are the best. You can reach out to them and get a really great deal on a Carrier unit if you want to. They can get you big rebates because they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. So give them a call. Here's the number, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or remember this, millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing, solar from Solar Source, a cooling system from Mills Air, or a whole house filtration system from Pure Touch Water Filters. Get more details and enter all 5 of these contests at realradio.fm/contests.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Trust Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Summer barbecue season is almost here, so up your hosting game by replacing your old windows and doors with the latest designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, peace of mind. With Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim Impact Windows and Doors, you're investing in a product that not only enhances your home's beauty, but also significantly boosts its safety and value. Sarah says if you're ever in need of windows or doors, please give them a call today. They will most surely give the treatment of excellence 100%. Renewal by Andersen's window of opportunity savings event is going on now. Buy 2 windows or patio doors, get the third 60% off, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Anderson today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You will have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the news.
In courtrooms around the country, some very interesting stories, a little bit of frightening stories in the mix as well. That's coming up in Jury Duty. This is too much. Too far. They can't take this away from us. The tariffs, which a lot of them have been dialed back over the last couple of weeks here by the Trump administration, as they run into more problems, they start to reverse some of these. And who knows? Maybe this benefits us way down the road. The markets so far this year are overall still down about 4,000 points or so. I don't even bother to look today. There's no need for it. But right now, the story from NBC News is about something that is going to be either way more expensive or maybe not nearly as available as it normally is. Now, I know it's kind of shocking to think, but we're already in May of 2025. Crazy to think of. Already in May of 2025. I get disheartened when I look at these stories and I see that 99% of consumer fireworks used in the United States come from China. 99%. Damn! We aren't making a whole lot of fireworks here. When it comes to professional shows, 75% of those fireworks come from China. That's a lot. That's a very big reliance on China. And you got these places that do huge fireworks setups. Sure. And then, of course, you have, before too long, the 4th of July.
Right.
Not far from here. People want to have their fireworks. They want to light stuff off. But we have tariffs.
More expensive would it be?
Much more expensive. The imported tax rate on all Chinese goods is about 145%. That was the Liberation Day effective import tax. And there's a lot of urgency, according to the CEO of Fireworks Over America, a distributor in Missouri. There's definitely a lot of urgency here for our industry. It's a very, very serious situation. It would be a shame to have the skies go dark on the 4th of July.
Going to be a lot of drone shows.
Yeah, man.
Wear a helmet.
I said the shelves at the fireworks places could be bare because of how expensive everything is.
Celine, does Beaver still have my illegal as S?
I don't think really you can call that yours anymore.
It's been a while.
Does he have it?
I have no clue.
I want to light it up.
There's going to be a problem with this. And the other thing I saw, you guys, have you ever heard of the company Wyze?
Yeah.
WYZE.
I have them.
Cameras? The camera company, they make cameras that are very, very cheap. And they have chimed in as of the day before yesterday on Twitter/X. And WiseCam, WYZE, says, just got our first tariff bill. We imported $167,000 worth of floodlights, and we paid $255,000 in tariffs. That's more than any of our founders were paid last year, according to Wise. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are going to see that and go, well, then make them in America, for God's sake. We will eventually be pricing out the cheap stuff. And I don't know, like I would guess even the more expensive stuff. Nest cameras, Google's Nest cameras. You think they make those in the United States?
Likely not.
I don't know if they do. Maybe they assemble them or something. But Nest is the more expensive model of this, and they're saying we brought in $167,000 of floodlights and then paid $255,000 in tariffs. That means those Wise cameras are going to get more expensive. There's no way around it.
Can't wait.
They're not going to eat it. They're going to make their stuff more expensive, and then you either buy an American version, which is good. I like that. Buy America is good. Or you can just have to pay more and suck it up.
But even buying American, I think I told you guys about, I don't even follow it. It just came up on my feed, like some guy that makes guitar pedals, and he manufactures them here in America. He's got I don't know if he does it all himself or if he's got a couple employees, but all the parts to those guitar pedals he has to get from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, now I got to go, do I make less money on this? Do I have to charge more? Because he's definitely paying for it.
Everybody is going to say things are going to get more expensive. That's just it. If you want the long term, make more stuff in America, you can do that. But things will be more expensive, number one. And also that takes time. Let's say C-Lane's talking about this company. Guitar pedals, you said, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what company it is, really.
It doesn't matter, but the parts that they get come from China.
Pedals.
They assemble the pedals from pedals, and they put them out there in the marketplace and sell them. With the tariffs, it makes them more expensive. So somebody who's a detractor in this might go, well, then hire some people and make it in America. Okay, the guy from pedals could do that, but that doesn't happen instantly. You're going to need to start up a factory. You're going to need to source materials from this. Better hope those don't come from China too, right? Because then the tariffs still impact you. You need something wholly made from things that don't have any added tariff fees. And that's where these things get more complicated. And now with the fireworks world, 99% of consumer fireworks are not made in the U.S. They're made in China. You don't have a choice. Unless you find those 1%ers. Somebody said there's already been places that have canceled their 4th of July fireworks. I also think there is going to be places that cancel them who have kind of wanted to because fireworks are expensive.
Yeah.
It's
and
expensive.
You spend that much, and it's all gone.
Yeah, then it ended in 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and people took a bunch of pictures. You had to get sponsors to cover it all. The one that they used to do in West Palm Beach, I think it was $250,000.
Damn.
Somewhere around there, just dropping on some fireworks. So a lot of cities that have done this over the years, the fees go up for the companies that put on these productions, and now they go, this is a good time for us to cut this out. We want to stop this right now. Can't afford it anymore. All right. We didn't even do jury duty, did we?
Thank you, Moses.
Hang on. We'll do it real quick. Here we go. We'll at least get one story in.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO. 800-CALL-MO. Or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, he's your guy. Don't feel bad about doing this. Don't say, well, I don't want to be the lawsuit person. This is what insurance is for. And that feeling that I just described is why the insurance companies are a bunch of fat cats that are just printing money.
Wow.
You pay every day. If you don't pay, they come after your ass. But when you get hurt, where are they? Mm-hmm. Why do you even need to race after some attorney? Because that's how corrupt the whole thing is. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. It happened again. Another story. You think I'm on repeat here. You think I'm skipping like the podcast. No, this is real. A 17-year-old in Marion County has been arrested after being accused of making kids send him sexual content on
Roblox. Yep. All right.
Roblox. Once again, the Marion County Sheriff's Office says Christian Scribbin met kids on one of the biggest and most popular online gaming sites called Roblox. And while on the site, he was getting these young kids or directing them to touch their younger siblings.
Oh, my God. And this was a teenager?
Yeah, 17 years old. He lied about his age to appear more acceptable to young children, and he would contact 4 to 5 children every day for the past year to do this. Folks, if your kid is on one of these platforms, if there's a microphone involved, if they can talk to, if they can chat with somebody else, watch them. Never feel bad about looking into your kid's life, especially if they're not, 16, 17, 18, or where they deserve a little more privacy. If your kid is still a kid, you got to protect them. There are weirdos out there. And it used to be that this was the case. Your neighborhood, draw a circle around it. 10 miles, 20 miles, draw a circle around it on the map. Mm-hmm. Those are the people you had to worry about. Those people in that circle. There might be some creepers in there. There might be some touchy people. There might be some weirdos. And
20 miles
to drive over your house or end up in your neighborhood, see your kid and do something to him. Something in your neighborhood. The physical person would be the threat. Now, you don't know where these people are. You don't know what state they're in, what city they're in, what country they're in, anywhere. Yeah. They could be out there trying to take advantage.
Do your thing, man. I think it's time for the company to create some more safety measures so that this doesn't continue to happen.
Got a little bit of a problem on their hands, that's for sure. How many stories do we need like this to go, hey, predatory problems at Roblox?
They're making millions a day, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you kidding me?
And
Let's
we make
see.
a anti-pedo.
Let's check. Here we go. How much does Roblox make? See how much money this company makes. It's significant. It is a very significant amount of money because it's so big. And the parent company, they have toys and video games.
As of 2023, Roblox Corporation reported revenues of approximately $923 million in 2022. Their revenue comes mainly from the sales of Robux, in-game purchases, and subscriptions. Keep in mind that these figures can vary year to year.
Yeah, so back then even, $923 million in Robux. You can't keep the creepers out? This is like when Dunder Mifflin decided to open a social network.
Yeah.
It went to hell in a handbasket. The creepers sank in. You don't want it. The other stories that didn't make it into jury duty, and these are two very interesting ones, are coming up.
If I had designed a website like that, I would kill myself.
Quick break. Back with that and more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a car broken down off to the shoulder on I-4 westbound before Florida's Turnpike. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident where Silver Star Road meets Apopka Vineland Road. Traffic's starting to slow down once you get off the ramp from Florida's Turnpike to I-75 northbound, and there's some slowdowns on I-4 between Sand Lake Road and Osceola Parkway to keep an eye out for there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Listen up, my business-owning friends. That mortgage guy, Don, does commercial and small business administration loans. So if you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, you are in luck. That mortgage guy, Don, can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Don't leave money on the table. It's time to get that money off the table and back in your hands. Are you looking to buy a business or a franchise? That mortgage guy, Don, has your back. He also has over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. Get a quote today with no hard credit inquiry. Most importantly, work with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Go to thatmortgagiguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgagiguydon.com.
Sunny
Seaside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns
Skomite! My glorious Skomite crew. We're going to need a chatter of the day. Who's been good? What about this? How about you vote? Who deserves chatter of the day? Who deserves it today? YouTube? Twitch? Let's see. Mr. Predicto, does YouTube deserve chatter of the day?
Everything points to no.
Ooh, brutal YouTube. Brutal. Predicto, does Twitch deserve chatter of the day?
The answer is unclear. Try again.
Mr. Predicto, does Twitch deserve chatter of the day?
There is no doubt.
Whoa. All right, it's been decided. Somebody from Twitch will win chatter of the day. The best of the best. Weed Consumer says, I didn't chat much, but I was here. That doesn't count, buddy. You're not a member of chat if you're not chatting. You are simply a viewer. Simply a viewer. Lamer than all the rest. All you got to do is chat to get out of that category. Fake news alert. Brutal story out of New York, by the by. In this story, of course it happened on the subway, because it seems to be a fun time there. And we've still got some pro-crime people, seemingly, in positions of power in New York. And by the way, I'm here to give you just some really good political advice. No matter where you're at on the political spectrum, being pro-crime will mean that you will lose every election moving forward. If you are seen as pro-crime, that is universally disliked by everybody around me, everybody around you, and everybody in between. You can pretend in your little online worlds, in your silos, like that's popular. That is incredibly not popular with normal people. Normal people who still rule this world, who enjoy their life and want to enjoy it with their family. In New York on the subway, some guy had a person come up to him and point a gun at him, and he said, "Give me oral right now or I'm going to kill you." He says on the subway to this other guy, puts a gun to him, and he goes, "Suck it right now or I'm going to kill you." And the guy did it. The guy said, "I don't want to die. This person's crazy. I'm scared." And he did it. I don't know if I want to ride the subway anymore. We're coming back.
Incredible flavors of Florida. Enter now at iHeart.com/Fresh from Florida Kitchen to give your kitchen the ultimate glow up. Stocked with Fresh from Florida.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BANK, B-A-N-K, BANK. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This
The three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. And no matter how you stumbled on this station, on this show, on this podcast, you're welcome in. You can always watch us live on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie or twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. I don't usually get it wrong with my gut reaction to stories, but I actually did for this one. And I wanted to ask you guys about it real quick before we get into the worst story in the world.
You wanted to see if we'd get it wrong too?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you guys just have more experience at this than I do because it's about music festivals.
Oh, it's about cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's about a cool thing.
Cool alert.
When you look at Coachella or Stagecoach, which are just these big music festivals, one of them's in...
they're both in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Are they both in the same exact location?
Yes.
Damn, that city is a weird place. It goes from nobody to like big groups of people.
That venue, much like a lot of places that have become music festival destinations, used to be, I want to say, a horse racing field. Endio Polo Club, I want to say it's called. And like little by little, they started throwing Coachella there. And then the people that throw Coachella were like printing money so much that they bought the land and they closed the Polo Club, then laid off a lot of the people that were like running this club, I think.
Right, oh, God. Well, when I saw this, it said arrests at Coachella and Stagecoach see double-digit spikes. And they're saying a lot more people are getting in trouble and getting arrested at these sorts of events. And so I immediately said, oh, okay, I know what the arrests are for.
Drugs.
I thought that it would be people stealing cell phones. I thought that would be the thing that they said, like they would arrest people stealing cell phones, because I've heard stories from you too, and I've heard stories from lots of people that one of the biggest worries actually at a festival is that somebody's going to steal your cell phone, because they do that a lot. But that wasn't it. That wasn't the big thing. Drugs is big. Yes, people like with either selling drugs or on drugs and out of their minds, they arrest those people. But the biggest problem was people faking handicap parking. And
that's an arrest? I thought that was a fine.
Well, they write it down as like a written arrest, I think, in some of these cases.
Notice to appear?
Yeah, like a notice to appear for doing it. And I thought, is this a thing that is like a known thing at these festivals? You try to get into the handicap parking spots?
See, I mean, most of the festivals that we've experienced were camping, so that kind of leaves that out as far as my experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I can imagine that when it came to Coachella, like that's a lot of walking that people were doing. So I can totally see folks trying to fake that out just so they don't have to walk 8 hours in the blistering hot sun to get to the concert.
Just citations for handicap placard violations, meaning they're like faking handicap stuff and taking the spots, 162.
Wow.
And I'm like, first of all, how many? I guess you have to have a lot of handicap spots for an event that's going to bring in 100,000 people.
Usually they would have an entire handicap parking section.
But these people are just going in there and maybe pretending or showing like a fake thing that says they're handicap. Or can you buy them on Amazon? Let me see.
Like a fake handicap placard?
Yeah. Handicap placard. You shouldn't be able to, but you often can. These are like signs, like the actual spots. No, there's some that go around the rear view. I don't know if that looks anything like a real one, but it goes around your rear view and it says handicap. And you got a sign. These look more legit, like state ID number. Some of these are just holders instead of the actual placards that you're supposed to have. But there's a lot of people who are faking this and are pretending to be handicapped at these festivals and taking the spots. You end up getting a pretty decent fine for that.
I wonder if, much like a fake ID, if you get a bigger penalty for having a fake handicap placard than you do for just parking in a handicap spot and not having a placard at all. Like, if you have a fake ID, a fake like printed out ID versus using someone else's ID, I think you carry a heavier charge.
Yeah, because you're altering a document, like an official document. And doing that is what's going to get you in big trouble there. I don't know if you've heard of this before or experienced this, or law enforcement, let us know how common is this. We'd like to hear. And right now, buckle up, friends. Are you ready for the worst story in the world?
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
3. No, there ain't no escaping, so let's give it a whirl. Hot your kids, hot your wife. It's the worst story in the world.
Gentlemen, what would you do enters the most intense phase that I think it's ever entered in this story out of Manhattan, New York, where the subway seems to be a dangerous place to be. Police are searching for a man, and it's because of something he did on the number 1 train in Manhattan. It was 4:15 a.m., and I was told by the governor of New York that there was going to be cops on all these trains in the middle of the night. But I guess there wasn't, because this happened at 4:15 a.m., and there was a crazed person who was wandering the train in New York, and they were making sexual remarks and demanding money from people. They stopped on a 27-year-old man. So this guy says to this 27-year-old man, suck it, basically.
Oh, okay.
You know, I want you to do this.
Oh, right.
And the person says, no. And he pulls out a gun. And he says, I want you to do something to me. And the guy's like, no, I'm not doing it. If you don't do it, then I'm going to shoot you. And the victim then goes, I don't want to die. And the victim performed the lewd act.
So this is a rape.
As the train approached to the Christopher Street subway station, the person was performing the act at gunpoint. And then the suspect, when the doors opened, hauled ass and ran out of the train. And they're now searching for the person who did this.
Good
and
God.
Trying to find them. And this is the second story about like a rape on the subway in New York.
And that last one was with a dead guy.
That was even worse. It doesn't seem like a fun place to be. I know there's a lot of them moving at all times, and most people get where they need to get, and there's not any problem. But this seems like a bad thing. Don't want to do that. And the 27-year-old victim was just sitting there trying to get home as crime has gone up citywide compared to this time last year. Overall transit crime is up 25%, according to the NYPD. The governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, pledged to increase the presence of police officers in the subway system, including 2 cops each on overnight trains. But where they were, no clue. But that's a tough question to be asking somebody.
I mean, even if they did have cops on every train, they couldn't be in every car, you'd think.
No, the problem is not the cops. The problem is there's a decent amount of crazy people on public transport in New York City.
They have access to weapons, apparently.
We haven't decided to make the move on crazy people. We've decided to stay. I will state this again for like the 4th time in this show alone. If you have bad things that are repeatedly happening around you, it's because nobody wants to do anything about it. These are fixable things. We do not have to live in a hellscape. We don't have to live in these bad times. But we have a system that is currently set up where you go, yes, there's a man who's having a mental health issue in public. Yes, there's somebody who's threatening people. Yes, this person is freaking out. But why are you calling 911? They haven't committed a crime. The Supreme Court says we can't do anything until they commit a crime. So we get all of this stuff happening. It's just a detriment to society as a whole because we haven't figured out what we could do. Now, don't fool yourself. I don't care what the Supreme Court says. I don't care what the Supreme Court says. Congress can get together and put together a law and agree on something that says we need to rebuild asylums in the United States of America. Let's give them a happier name so it's not attributing all of the sins of the past asylums to the new ones.
Does that change what's happening inside the asylum?
Yes, hopefully it would. You have a rigorous process for making sure that these people are well cared for and safely treated. But when you have somebody having a mental health crisis in public, we don't say it's empathetic anymore to just watch them and wait for them to break the law. It's happening all over the place. It happens all the time. Like the story out of Orlando even. There's a story out of Orlando where this tourist who is in town from California got attacked by this nutso drugged out dude. Randomly attacked. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing to deserve this. Here's the story from our friends at Fox.
Exclusive. A random attack changes a young woman's life forever.
Yeah, she's still recovering after being slashed by a stranger at a gas station along John Young Parkway. And Fox 35's Manny Martinez is live in studio. So, Manny, you've been in contact with the victim for the past week or so, right? So how is she doing?
John, she says she's still in so much pain, physically, emotionally, and financially. She says the suspect just wouldn't leave her alone before he attacked her. And now she says she's relying on her faith to help her come up with an answer for why me.
This dude who was out of his mind on blow at the time of the assault, I guess, he had 20 grams of cocaine on him. He was
20 grams.
That's a lot.
Good.
He was under the influence. He was wielding a butcher knife. He saw her waiting for a ride to the airport to return home to California. He starts crossing the street and harassing her before attacking her. She runs into a gas station trying to lock the door behind her. And is just a lunatic. And the person looks like a drugged out loon.
She had just arrived in Orlando, and this is the welcome she received. We've blurred it because it's just too gruesome. She's all bloodied up, puffed up, and bandaged up.
Okay, it's very hard to see because they got her bandaged up. But she says that she got hit by this guy and that she was injured in this whole fracas.
Stinging and like it just hurt it and I kept saying, please somebody help me, please somebody help me, because I didn't know what was going on.
What deputies say was going on was a random stabbing. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says Samson Pettit seemed high on drugs.
Did he?
Say what?
Look at Samson Pettit, all right? A man who's made many bad decisions. This man just looks in the mugshot as if he's in a drug-induced stupor and was wandering around, and people probably said, well, there's nothing we can do. He's not committing a crime yet. When he commits a crime, we'll send the police over there, and then we'll cycle him through the system 5,000 times and pretend this is the empathetic thing to do. That's literally how things work in the United States of America. And until you say enough is enough, it's going to keep working that way. So I feel bad for this woman for being attacked. You should profile people. You should always, always, always profile people. Don't listen to these weirdos who tell you profiling is bad. Look around. If somebody looks strange, if somebody seems odd, if somebody seems like they're up to something or they're on something or they might be prone to being violent, cross the road, find a safe spot. Don't ever, ever, ever let people tell you shouldn't do that, because you should every single day and moment of your life. And I hate to say this, but especially women, because you face more issues like this than men do. And, there's a woman attacked by this guy. So there you go.
That's kind of a crazy place to be waiting for a ride to the airport. Not,
where they were?
Not like, blaming the victim here.
Sounds like you are.
Sounds a little blaming.
Mm-hmm.
But
she was wearing a skirt too, huh?
I mean,
that's a thing, Sealand. It's like she had it coming. She was wearing a skirt. This kind of
She didn't get graped.
No. But she did get attacked.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like I'm just saying,
Don't get too hung up in it. Don't get too hung up in the detail.
I know.
7-Eleven is a strange spot, but maybe that's
no. This 7-Eleven, like this particular place, is just very, very far from tourist
From anything?
area. It's not from anything. It's downtown.
What did they say? What she was in town for? She just said she was in from California and she's hanging out and she's ready to get out of town. She was crossing the street from a nearby bus station to get some food, so that's why she was in that area, I guess.
Wow.
And yeah, so just people all the time have to deal with these lunatics wandering the streets, and until we figure out a better way to handle things, we'll see these headlines. We'll see what you think. Send your dispatches or your emails. tips@thenewsjunkie.com for an email. Put anonymous if you don't want your name out there and attached to it. That's fine. And also, you can send a dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com. Real quick, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Deanna, I think that's her name. Deanna says, hey, guys.
Please keep
you were talking. Yeah. It doesn't say that.
Thank God.
And if I ever do that, I tell you guys to dump it because I
never do.
I try to be as good as I can about the anonymous stuff. Deanna says, hi, guys. Hi. You were talking yesterday about screen time. We were. Yes, we had some screen time issues. And I noticed my numbers are extremely inflated from normal. Seems I consistently have YouTube running in the middle of the day fairly recently. Now that I watch the News Junkie on YouTube on my phone, my numbers are 3 times what they've been.
I mean, that makes sense.
Totally worth it.
All right.
Keep up the good work, says Deanna. Yeah, I don't think those numbers count. Those numbers don't count. The numbers that should count are when you're scrolling, doom scrolling through all the content.
All the time. Love me to scroll.
It's the stuff that really gets to your brain. And more importantly, and this is a problem for me, your neck. My neck is so bad as a result of just craning over.
Yeah, but you want to be this person who's just like holding it up like all the housewives when they do FaceTime calls because the camera's there. They just hold it up in this weird angle. And
I don't know what the solution is. Have you seen what people do, Sabrina, where they get these contraptions? So when they're laying in bed, it holds their screen above them.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get these little devices that they just go like this and they swipe through.
That's too much.
Or a little clicker
just preparing
sometimes.
Yourself to never leave that bed ever again.
It's dystopian, man. That's the dystopian version of reality.
I think I throw off my screen time numbers sometimes, like by just because I play a couple games of solitaire usually before bed.
What are you, 80?
He is.
No, I just it helps me fall asleep.
So you never finish the game?
Sometimes I don't finish, and then
you fall asleep in the middle of a solitaire game.
Yeah.
Huh.
My God.
No, it's impressive.
Fatherhood has done something.
What does that
to
even
you.
mean to you?
Fatherhood
what am I
has
supposed to
done
be falling
something.
asleep at a drunken stupor?
That's what you used to do. What are you kidding
I miss
me?
the old C-Lane when you'd just be blacked out every night.
Party C-Lane would definitely be doing that. Are you kidding me? Of course that was the case.
I was party girl last night, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah. Went to
What
a
happened?
last-minute concert. Shout out to beautiful people who answered my flurry of text messages. I can't pronounce it, but it's this Argentinian group. Atrial and Paco.
Never heard of them.
They're so much fun. They played at Coachella. Great time, packed to the gills. But there it was, 11 o'clock at night, still out.
Where was this?
At Beecham.
Oh.
What kind of music is this? What are we talking about? Is it like a DJ? Or?
No, I mean, it's like they have instruments, and I would liken it to an EDM dance, but it's popping. And on top of it, my nerdy ass, there's like cool lasers, and I immediately take video of it and send it to Austin. I'm like, how can we get this for the next show? Turns out they're thousands upon thousands of dollars. But yeah, I was out late last night. No kid to worry about. Woke up at 8:30 this morning.
Woo! Look at that. All right, quick break. When we come back.
Tell you guys about it later.
What, is there more? I thought the
not
story
really.
had kind of reached a conclusion.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it, but.
No, go ahead. Finish the story. Go ahead.
Rode a scooter last night as well. Got cool Ray-Ban footage. Maybe I should play solitaire instead.
All right, the people know the story now. It's out there. Folks,
Keep
rate
me
that
anonymous,
story.
Please.
Rate that story from 1 to 10 over
Can
on
I
the
dump
dispatch side.
2 minutes?
We'll be back with more, and we've got a bunch to do before we wrap things up today. We got to talk about something else that could be impacted by the economy. I hate to say that. Another anonymous person. And can we discuss Hulk Hogan for a second?
What
can
you
we
gonna
talk
do,
about this?
brother?
You guys seen Hulk Hogan in the last week or so?
I have. Looking forward to it.
Okay. We got to talk about this, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Traffic's starting to slow down on I-4 heading through the city. There's slowdowns westbound between Sand Lake Road and through that Lake Buena Vista area. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 eastbound near State Road 429 there. Traffic slowing down due to an accident on I-95 southbound before State Road 100. And you won't be expecting any problems around the perimeter of I-4 on State Road 429 or the Greenway. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by the 47 Morning Update.
If you voted for Donald Trump, then you've got to start your day with the 47 Morning Update with me, Ben Ferguson. All the headlines from Trump's Oval Office, it's quick, it's bold, and it's unfiltered. So download the 47 Morning Update now wherever you get your podcasts.
That mortgage guy, Don, offers HELOCs. That's right, home equity lines of credit. A way to unlock your equity.
Go, Mike. Skull Mike, I'm so excited. A couple of parts for my media server come in the mail today. Very, very excited about that. Got some memory coming in. And also the chipset. Oh, can't wait to put it together. I'm going to have a powerhouse server with all sorts of virtual machines helping run the show. If I'm getting you hot and bothered, just tell me to stop. I can slow down here. I know it's hot. I am excited. I just can't hide it. Folks, can we find our chatter of the day? You went AMD or Intel, Sean? Did I go AMD or Intel? I'll tell you what I got. Hang on. I'll tell you what I got. Had a lot of help from ChatGPT, like what parts work with what, et cetera, et cetera. I got a Ryzen AMD chipset. It's a Ryzen 7 5700G 8-core 16-thread desktop processor with Radeon graphics. That's what I got as the processor. A Ryzen RYZEN 7 5700G 8-core 16-thread processor. How's that? And I got 128 gig of DDR RAM. SSD, that's an SSD drive of a terabyte. Then I got like 16 terabyte dual redundant drives. Yes! Let's go! Skull Mike needs a pocket protector now? Hell no. Nothing is quite as cool as building your own media server, and I hope that you get that experience someday. You can run all the smart features of your house on that with like something like Home Assistant. You can run all sorts of virtual computers in the server, different Windows installs or Linux installs that are just doing whatever you want them to do. It's awesome. Very cool. You can have a media server with a Plex setup. So you can have basically your own Netflix. You put the movies and the TV shows on the server, and it automatically downloads everything, tells you what actors are featuring in them, builds this huge library of your own. Beautiful. Dan says when you get it all done and you hit the power button and it works, chef's kiss. Yeah, I know, but I'm a little worried when I hit the power button and it doesn't work. I haven't built a computer since probably 1995 when my dad was working at IBM and before a lot of other people had computers and stuff in the early 90s, even the late 80s. We had computers because my dad would bring them home from IBM, 486s, 386s, 286s, and I would tinker with them and I would build them, and I loved it. I loved it. You could make so much cool stuff even back then. I remember I had a waterbed, and I had my computer in the corner, and then I took this built-in speakers on the computer, and I hooked into those wires, and then I wired it into speakers all around my waterbed. So I had like waterbed surround sound when I'd be streaming some really shitty wave file. Oh, it was great. With real audio and video streaming. You remember that? Streaming real audio? You used to be able to stream like South Park episodes even on that. I'd know when I got new mail because it'd be like, bloop, you've got mail. And my whole waterbed would rock. 1 minute. I know I've gotten you all a little sexually excited with this chit chat, so I'll try to tone it down. We're coming back now.
And first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit. Call now. 407-337-5569.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits.
Your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank, B-A-N-K, bank. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Wherever you get your podcasts, hopefully it's iHeartRadio because they pay the bills around here. But, you know, wherever you get your podcasts, search for The News Junkie and hit subscribe, and you'll get the show blasted to you each and every day. Had somebody else emailing about the podcast. Let me see if we can find this. Charles emailed about the podcast. He says, I listen on Apple Podcasts. The quality and continuity has been really good for a while now, but yesterday's podcast was really bad about skipping all around in the middle of different segments. Kind of ruined the whole show. I listen on an iPhone 13, and yes, I download the episode, says Charles.
13. Time to upgrade, dude.
That's a little older, but this is one of these things. I spent 30 minutes yesterday talking with the people who work for our podcast company that we use. It's not like a podcast thing that regular people would use. It's like for corporations. And first of all, the guy who I was talking with knows the show. So that's always kind of weird. And it's like, well, you're doing the podcast? I'm like, yeah.
Is he the one that used to work here?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, there is people who used to work for iHeart that are over there at this company.
Maybe he knows the show because we're the ones that are always bitching about our podcast.
I said, are there not other people complaining about this? Because there's no way this is just us. There's no way that this is only an us problem. I said I've had so many emails where people go, the podcast skips around. And again, podcast people, please stay strong. I will fight to the death to try to get that fixed. I will tell you, there's always solutions. You could try downloading it. You could try it on a different provider. You could try listening from thenewsjunkie.com. You will always have the latest show right there and available to stream on thenewsjunkie.com. You can try the great fallback is the YouTube stream of the show, which the only skips you're going to get there is if there were any copyright issues and we clip something out. That's the only thing over there that's going to skip. But I sat there with like this person on tech support for probably 30 minutes after the show yesterday saying these people are complaining. They're saying the podcast has been skipping. I don't want that to be happening. I'm so sorry for those people. I said, you can understand how that's a bad experience. And he said, well, we checked. There's nothing wrong on our end over here. But then they gave me some suggestions, and I'm going to try those out today. So podcast peeps, stay strong, number one. And number two, let me know as of the Thursday show if things get any better. If they're not, tell me kind of what your situation is and what you're using. Meanwhile, what's going on with Hulk Hogan?
What's
happening with the Hulkster?
That's not real.
That's real. That's real. He was on Fox News looking like this. He looks like he picked up a huff and paint addiction over the weekend or something.
But yeah,
you see what's going on?
Also, the beard. I'm confused.
The beard is the problem. That's the thing that really stands out to me because he has a jet black beard, and it looks like it's spray painted on. And the white stash and then the white hair, which I don't know what's going on under that bandana. It ain't my business, Hulk.
Is Hulk Hogan the only person who dyes his beard to look older? Like,
do you think that's what's going on? Does he dye the mustache and then his actual hair is as dark as that beard is?
There's no way that his hair is still coming in that black.
That's really jet black. It looks like toner.
He looks ink. Can you change this? I'm getting freaked out right now.
Guess what? You're going further in. Whoa! You're going full Hulkster.
This looks like AI.
It's a little unsettling, isn't it? There's something going on. It says
a lot.
Oh, brother, Hulk Hogan raises eyebrows with dramatic new look. What style would you call this? People are saying. And I don't know if things have been a little wild around the
I would call this style card got declined. mid grooming.
I can see that. I love the Hulkster. I think he's a cool cat. I like him. He's one of the greatest entertainers of our time. And if he's having fun, just like Bellichick, I'm all for it, baby.
This doesn't
Do your
scream
thing.
fun to me.
I just don't know what's going on with the styling here, Hulk. And I would say if your beard is actually coming in that black, rock that for your stash.
That
Keep
would change his
going.
entire look for decades.
What if he just shaved it? What if the Hulk shaved the whole thing on his face?
I'm sure there's a picture of that.
Let's see.
There
Hulk.
is, if you Google Hulk Hogan beard, there was one picture that looks to be from Reddit, but it looks like they drew the beard on.
This isn't real. Hang on, can you see this? This is supposed to be Hogan without the beard.
All right, put the beard back.
That can't be real.
That might be real.
He looks too young. This must be pretty old.
This is in the 90s.
Yeah, because he looks like a young man without a beard. I don't know what he looks like now without a beard, but he tends to rock it these days. And it's giving me a lot of Hulk from Marvel action, but Hulk Hogan is what I was looking for. Now he's got some strange stuff going on style-wise. So, Hulk, shouts out to you if you're out there. Hit us up, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We love you. We just want to make sure everything's okay.
Email you? Pretty sure I can get his number.
I'll take emails from anybody who's famous, just for the record. If you're famous and you listen to the show, say, hey, Sean, keep me anonymous, but I'm Hulk Hogan, and I'm out there and I'm listening.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to share that email?
I'm not going to share it with anybody at all.
Keep me anonymous. I'm a big-time wrestler with some weird beard stuff going on.
All you have to say is, keep me anonymous, but this is Lamar Odom.
Okay.
And I've been listening to the show for 10 years.
I've always wondered how, what famous
How many celebrities?
There has to be.
No, there's got to be. Lots of them. Yeah,
I know
lots of them.
DJ Icy was a big fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seen him in a minute.
Super nice guy.
Very nice. And his mom loves the show, too.
You have, your Tiger Woods.
They don't listen.
Tiger, if you're out there, shouts out, buddy.
Tiger
Shouts
doesn't
out.
listen to us.
Why not? He's in Palm Beach half the time. We're down in Palm Beach on our lovely radio station. We love them. And Tiger, if you're out there, whoever's listening, and even Trump, when he's at Mar-a-Lago, I hear pops it on Real Radio 92.1, pops it on and hears the show, and he's like, there they are.
Bing
Still
bong.
going. Still doing the thing. He knows us from playing the Japan bit. He said, yeah, that's those folks
Well,
doing
if you're
that
listening,
thing.
bud.
I remember.
Japan.
There you go. So if you're out there and you're famous, just say you want to be anonymous. I'll never tell anybody.
Well, tell
I'll never
us.
tell.
See you later.
No, I'm not telling you guys. It's anonymous.
Okay.
I'm telling you guys.
I guess
It's between me and the celebrities.
I'll go into the email then.
Don't go into that email.
I just went into it.
Get out of the email.
No celebrities.
Not
No
yet. There's not any
celebrities so far.
celebrity. There's got to be some time that goes by. And then, boom, we'll end up with the celebrities in the inbox at tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Space Nuts says, Hulk Hogan is a racist, backstabbing SOB. What's not to love? Oh, come on. You've never had your bad moments caught on tape.
Oh,
it happens
no.
to everybody. Yeah, it happens to all of us.
I don't remember you having any sort of
What?
racist stuff caught on tape, Sean.
Oh, you haven't heard that stuff?
I would hope that didn't exist.
Google Sean Wasson racist, and you'll see that time where they got me on tape, and I'm like, yeah, you know who I don't like? And I just started laying into it. But those days are gone, folks. I've turned over a new leaf, and now, you know who I love?
Who?
Everybody, C-Lane.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why they call me the lover. That's why they say that about me, and I appreciate it.
That.
So keep those emails rolling in, celebrities, and we love you out there, silently or not. Ay, Bobby. That's not racist. That was an accurate depiction of what I was going for.
I
at
just
the time.
cut that clip. The rest of it, you're like, I hate when the Spanish people do that.
No. I talk very kindly and highly of Spanish people, and particularly because Spanish doesn't mean anything.
Some of his best friends are Spanish.
And particularly,
doesn't mean anything.
Spanish is a broad term meaning people from European ancestry that are somewhere in South or Central America or the islands. It's just like so many people. It doesn't mean much. It's like white. White doesn't really mean anything. But if you talk about the Mexicans in particular, I love some Mexicans, man. Ay, Bobby. I love them. My Mexican friends out there, shouts out. Shouts out to you.
How about
Jews always be acting up like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to present something out of context like that and make it sound like I don't like the JWS. I'm a big fan. Hey, I'm an Italian rat. And the Italians I love too.
Mm-hmm.
I love all people from all backgrounds.
How about this one?
For me, it's tough to be a sex offender.
I don't love those people.
He loves all the sex offenders.
No,
The
I
Irish
don't. No,
sex offenders.
I do not. I do not love them. Quick break. When we're back, we'll do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. The donkeys, huh? And today I learned, of course, to wrap everything up for a Thursday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast, and today we are going to be expecting a mix of sunshine and clouds, warm temperatures, but overall seasonable with a high of around 87 degrees today in Orlando. As we head into our Friday, temperatures will be nearing 90, a high of 89 degrees, staying dry. Rain chances will be on the rise for this weekend, specifically for Sunday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we travel back to the dawn of the 16th century to uncover the roots of what it really means to be an American. You think you know the story? Think again. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
Skull Mag Squad. Question for you, Skull Mag people. Is there anybody who isn't ready for this real ID thing? Because here we are, right? We're right on it. Are you one of the dumbos who's not prepared and still doesn't have your driver's license? You only have 6 days. 6 days. I trust that you are one of the smart people, that your real ID status is set, that you're good to go, that you're not going to be turned around at the airport in 6 days. I don't think that's going to happen to you. I don't think that's going to happen to you. But it is time. Mr. Predicto has said, I believe, that Twitch is where our chatter of the day is going to come from. So any suggestions to who should be our chatter of the day from Twitch or from YouTube? But it has to be somebody on Twitch, YouTube. We'll pick somebody. We'll highlight one person. Lisa says she's not ready. Lisa! Lisa, how are you not ready for Real ID? You've only got 6 days. Our chatter of the day is sheepdog. Sheepdog, congratulations. You are the chatter of the day today. They said you couldn't do it. They hate us because they ain't us. Congratulations. I knew you could do it. You're the best of the best. Sheepdog, you are one of the best commenters, one of the best chatters that has ever existed in the history of chat. You type beautifully. You have very concise and insightful comments that illuminate a broader topic even than I'm talking about most times. You're good looking. You smell nice. You're just darn right jolly. So congratulations, your chatter of the day. Dennis says, secret show tonight? Question mark, question mark. Yes, sir. Secret show tonight, probably around 7:30 live on the News Junkie Discord. What's that? A Discord is like a big chat community. And they have them based on all sorts of topics. And there's a News Junkie fan Discord. I think it's about 2,000 people or so. It's very active. It's fun. It's some cool people. There's even some singles in there. If you're looking for somebody to hang out with. If you're looking to make friends, there's no better place. You like the show, they like the show, go talk to them. Now the question is, how do you do it? I'm going to tell you. Here's how you do it. You go to thenewsjunkie.com, you hit the Discord link, and you follow the instructions. All right? Thenewsjunkie.com, hit the Discord link, follow the instructions. And if you have a Secret Shows subscription, you can connect your account to the Discord and open up all the secret places.
And get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
That didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday.
Did you use this hot new website for your show prep today, the White House Wire?
Oh, no, I did see that they had it, yeah. The White House built like their own Drudge Report style thing.
White House media, right?
Whitehouse.gov/wire. And
Whitehouse.gov/wire.
It looks exactly like the Drudge Report.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks exactly.
It's like, it's all links.
Did they steal it?
No.
Piracy?
It's just like a link website with all the news stories, I guess. And I'm imagining these are very positive about the Trump administration. And it's because Drudge, the guy who runs the Drudge Report or drudgereport.com, he doesn't like Trump. He's gone full like anti-Trump. And so I guess the White House is kind of like shooting back. Who's running this thing, though? They're paying somebody to run this thing?
Oh, I'm sure.
WH Wire, WhiteHouse.gov/wire. Yeah, it would be, no matter what. Yeah, no matter what it would be. So there you go. The White House website is very different these days. There you go. Let's see. Let's start with this story real quick because C-Lane loves these. And people are freaking out in Missouri and Illinois right now.
Side boob.
Because their Real ID deadline is approaching. Just 6 days away from right now is the Real ID deadline.
Bunch of dummies.
They can't get appointments.
Yeah.
They said we're very, very, very busy right now. And
so when we talked with Amy Caulfield about this, and I guess they had shown scenes from a DMV in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Somebody reached out and said they lived in Florida. They got a Real ID and they moved to Tennessee, who's been super behind on this, and they renewed their license and they took away their Real ID. And they gave him an old bunk ass Tennessee license, and now they don't have the right credentials.
That's annoying.
Can't you just buy those little stars online?
If you don't have the Real ID, you will not be able to board a domestic flight or enter federal buildings or military bases starting May 7th. So you have like less than a week, and you won't be able to do this. Me, being a Marine, I knew I wanted to get access to the military bases.
A Marine.
And so I wanted to make sure that I had Real ID on my identification because, once a Marine, always a Marine. Fake. And I wanted to be able to get into these military bases. So was my father a Marine or not?
That doesn't make you a Marine, bud.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
You were never a Marine.
Yeah.
My father was a Marine. I was part of my father. I was one of the sperm inside my father.
Okay.
And I swam as a Marine. I was a Marine when I was swimming, and I'm a Marine to this day.
You're also an egg, too, bud. So what are you, a nurse?
Yeah, I am. I like to fancy myself both these days. But your Real ID problems are really coming to a head here very, very soon.
Once the deadline, though, you could still get it, right?
Yeah, but you just can't get through the airport if you don't have a Real ID.
That sucks. That's going to
be rough.
Mess some people up.
Next week, we're going to have big stories about that. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of them. All right, we're running behind. We got to get out of here. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Stop telling Sean Semper Fi in the chat. He's not a Marine.
Semper Fi, right back to you. Semper Fi. Salute you.
What does that mean?
Service.
Army of one, and
Semper
he's
Fi?
the only one.
I don't have time to talk about that, Celine. We're running out of time here. Okay. Today I learned this character right here.
What's up, Doc?
That's Bugs Bunny.
Bags Bunny. It is Bags Bunny.
It's old Bags Bunny.
And it's a character that just drags bags around with him. Legendary voice actor Mel Blanc was in a severe accident that put him in a coma. After 2 weeks of unresponsiveness, his neurologist tried to address him as Bugs Bunny. Instead, he responded in a weak voice and eventually recovered.
And said, "What's up, Doc?"
And today I learned this band.
Hall & Oates.
That's right. Hall & Oates is correct. Yeah. Hall & Oates, in a career of nearly 50 years, 50, have sold 40 million albums. They had 19 songs hit the top 10. 9 of them went to number 1, making them the best-selling music duo of all time. Congratulations, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place.